Hello and welcome back to the WGL APAC Season 2 playoffs. It is now our last match of the playoffs. It's the seeding match, and basically this match decides who faces Team Efficiency and who faces EL Gaming. Of course, Caren, Tiger and Horsemen fighting off for that seeding point.
Yes, that is it. Of course, we've just seen, for those of you that are tuning in, the Horsemen take it up against B Gaming in, well, a pretty convincing match. They're taking it 3-2, and at the end of the day, that's what we expected. We expected around the 7-1, 7-2 mark, so to see them take it like that, I mean, you know, that's basically on par with what we predicted.
Yeah, definitely. No surprise at all. Honestly, coming into that one, I would have been hugely surprised if B Gaming had been able to come out of that with a win or even be able to really contest, because Horsemen has definitely looked like the better team tonight and also throughout the last couple of weeks of WGL APAC. So having a look at how things went down, Caren Tiger getting that win through to the playoff match, obviously for free essentially. Horsemen having to go through B Gaming, but Horsemen and Caren Tiger is where we find ourselves, and now, basically, both of them are trying to kind of, it's like hard to say, like, right? Last season, I would have said both of these teams trying to avoid EL Gaming, but when I really think about it, like, is Team Efficiency going to necessarily be an easier opponent than EL Gaming at this point?
That's the thing. Team Efficiency, they might not be that easier opponent that, you know, they were last season. I think Horsemen and Caren Tiger there, I mean, look, they aren't going to have an easy time either way. No matter what way that we look at it, at the finals, they're either playing one of those two teams, right? Yep. So, you know, Team Efficiency, they're a team that is so good on, I think, the most maps in WGL, right? They've got the biggest map pool. EL Gaming, of course, they get onto their maps and they just don't lose them. Yeah. So it's not going to be easy. But I think if I was one of these two teams, Caren Tiger and the Horsemen, you'd still really want to win this, because none of these two teams have ever really held a candle to EL Gaming this season. And that's what's different.
Yeah, they have been able to go 5-4, both of them actually against EL Gaming, but they did lose both of those matches. Team Efficiency so far this season, the only team to be able to defeat EL Gaming. But my one thing that I kind of want to put in here as a bit of a caveat, I suppose, is that I feel as though Caren Tiger will probably have a better time against Team Efficiency than Horsemen will against Team Efficiency, if you understand what I mean. Because I think Caren Tiger has matched up quite well against Team Efficiency in the past. They've been able to beat them a couple of times as well. Always in long series, always very, very closely matched, and 5-4, I think, every single time as well. So it's obviously not like it's far and away better, but I feel as though Caren Tiger may feel a little bit more comfortable against Team Efficiency than Horsemen will feel against Team Efficiency. Yeah. And I think both of them basically lose to EL Gaming. But I think maybe Caren Tiger has a chance against Team Efficiency. I don't think Horsemen beats Team Efficiency.
Well, I mean, when you think about it like that, you know, that does make sense, because Caren Tiger, they are that team that's, you know, taken it to Team Efficiency time and time again. So, you know, here, I think if Caren Tiger don't end up winning this one, going up against EL Gaming, then it's going to be an uphill battle for them. Yeah. But we've never seen them at LAN finals either.
That's true. That is true. Maybe they're going to come out here and surprise us all, but they're going to have to get through this first match, and they are going to have to defeat the Horsemen, who finished their season at position number 3, so they got to go up against B Gaming. Fairly easy match for them. This is the real troublesome one, though, for them, because Horsemen and Caren Tiger, admittedly, like, when they've faced each other, the matches have not been hugely close. The closest result was 5-3 to Horsemen in week 1, which was a long time ago. But I still feel as though these two teams are quite evenly matched.
Look, I reckon so as well. I mean, we look at Horsemen, how they've just played, and they've got a very solid lineup. You know, they know how to play the Mouses, they know how to get in the bat chats, they're comfortable on their maps that they play. So up against Caren Tiger this time, I think that it is going to be a bit of a close one.
Caren Tiger tiebreaker coming out?
I'm honestly thinking it's going to be something like that. But look, Caren Tiger, I mean, they've got some stars. You know, Opalisk, he is the best artillery player, not only in WGL APAC, but in my opinion, Jordan, he is the best artillery player in the world.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think so. But look, as well as that, you know, you've got Yupa on Caren Tiger's lineup. Yupa's a top player as well. I think, who else? Helkarai, he's going to be putting out some big damage.
Well, you'd hope to see that. You'd hope to see that. Now, for me, Caren Tiger is a kind of team that, like, when they step up and when they have a really good game, it's a really good game. Right? They could almost beat anyone. But when they're on their off game, that's when it's a problem for them because they just get absolutely wrecked. But who knows which Caren Tiger is going to be showing up tonight. If there is any night to show up, it would be tonight, of course. But let's have a look at our head-to-head matchup. Hellcry and Hokyao, both these players tend to be up towards the damage chance for both of their teams more often than not. Hokyao, a newer player for Horsemen, but he's had a very, very good season so far.
Hockeya's been doing really well this season. I mean, we just saw him. He was kind of the FV 215B player there for the Horsemen, you know, getting into that more accurate tank. And it's not really reflected too much in his average accuracy, 77% there, so roughly the same as Hellcry. Hellcry just a little touch above, but there we go. It is his favourite tank, the 215B, and he makes it work. A little bit more damage blocked by armor as well. Obviously, Hellcry playing a bit more of the bat chat. It's interesting, right? Because Hellcry, he hasn't been a tanker that you think of when you think of the bat chat. You know, there's a lot more tankers that you think of as synonymous to that tier 10 French autoloader than Hellcry. You know, you think Vice Tone, you think maybe some of the other guys in Meltdown, you think some of the EL gaming players like Nice, Black even. But you don't really think Hellcry, even though he has demonstrated time and time again that he really does know how to play that tank, and he's a deadly force on it.
Yeah, definitely. Hokyao number 4 in terms of the average damage dealt this season. Hellcry number 9. So very, very high up towards the top of the damage charts there for their respective teams. And we're going to be hoping to see both of them put in a good performance tonight. Definitely think Hokyao, you know, he didn't seem to be playing too poorly in that match against B Gaming. But Caren Tiger is going to be somewhat of a bigger task. Now, let's get on to the important thing here, Alex. It is the map picks. And I feel as though both of these two teams have not fairly similar map pools, but they do have map pools that, you know, like it's like maybe 3 maps for Horsemen, 4 maps for Caren Tiger is sort of my feeling in terms of how they are favoured, and maybe one of those maps would be fairly even to make out that 8-map pool. But let's see how we're going to go here. Mine's taken away by Horsemen. I can definitely understand that. It's their worst map. It's one of Caren Tiger's decent maps, so get rid of it. Cliff taken away by Caren Tiger. It's been their ban all season. So
yeah, look, I like that. Caren Tiger not really feeling too comfortable on Cliff, so why not take it out? First pick there, Himmelsdorf by the Horsemen. That's a good pick. I mean, Caren Tiger are strong in it as well, but I still feel as though if the Horsemen can get off to, you know, get a leg up early on Himmelsdorf.
We saw them look very, very good on it last week against Meltdown as well.
Well, exactly. So I like that there from the Horsemen. Obviously, they did well against B Gaming on it as well. Ghost Town next up by Caren Tiger. It's not a bad map for them, but equally, it's actually quite a good map for the Horsemen as well. I maybe would have preferred something else like a, I don't know, maybe a...
I think Ruinberg would have been
Ruinberg,
the go-to.
exactly.
But
they get it anyway. They get Ruinberg.
They do get it.
So we're playing on Ruinberg.
Fair enough, yeah. Obviously, it doesn't really matter which order these ones come in because this is still early on in the piece. We're going to be seeing them regardless. It's the later ones, I think, which are going to be more important because, for example, let's say Ruinberg was the last map in the pool, then that could have been a problem for Horsemen if they had to close it out, get one map there or one round there or something like that. But it's a little bit earlier on. So Ruinberg, okay, Prokhorovka coming out for Horsemen. Again, to me, that's a fairly 50-50 sort of a map between these two teams. Steps, I think that one may slightly favour Horsemen, which could be a problem for Caren Tiger later on down the track if they're, say, down 5-4 or something like that, trying to pull it into the tiebreaker. And if they go down 2-0 on Steps, then game over. But Muravanka, that's another one which you can't really draw too many conclusions from. Neither team tends to like to play it all that much. It's not a great map for Caren Tiger. Similarly, not an amazing one for Horsemen.
Yeah, that's it. So let's take a look at the final map pool tonight. It will be first up Himmelsdorf, Ghost Town, followed after that. So 2 close quarters city maps. Then we go a little bit more open on Ruinberg, nice and open on Prokhorovka and Steps. That's going to be followed up by the last 2 maps, Muravanka, and then a Proc tiebreaker if we get that far. So
I think that is somewhat of a problem here for Caren Tiger. The fact that Steps and Muravanka are late in the pool here, and the fact that I feel as though most of those first few maps are going to be fairly close. Like Himmelsdorf, probably a 1-1. Ghost Town, probably a 1-1. Ruinberg, maybe Caren Tiger can 2-0 that one.
Maybe.
Prokhorovka's probably a 1-1. Steps and Muravanka, though, I feel as though those are actually going to favour Horsemen here. So if we say get to this point and we're at 4 apiece or 5-3 or something like that, for example, then I think Horsemen really has the chance to close it out strongly.
Yeah, they do, right? But then we see Steps there, and you say that Steps is more of a Horseman map. What we've just seen Horsemen playing against B Gaming on Steps is that they actually struggled quite a bit on their attack.
Yeah.
So, look, at the end of
that was the mouse strategy, though, from B Gaming.
Well, there's nothing stopping Caren Tiger doing the mouse strategy
not.
again. So,
That's true.
So that's why I think that if we get onto Steps there, it's still probably in my eyes going to be a 1-1.
Yeah,
so
it definitely could be. Definitely could be. And so, Caren tiebreaker, I think, is what you're sort of leaning on here, I assume.
6-7 to Caren Tiger.
To Caren Tiger. I'm also going Caren Tiger, but I think it's going to be 7-5. So I'm giving them just a little bit over. In saying that, though, it's going to be a close matchup. So wouldn't be hugely surprised to see this go 6-7. Wouldn't be hugely surprised to see Horsemen picking up the victory either. It just depends, in my opinion, on which Caren Tiger shows up tonight. Because I mentioned earlier that I thought, you know, the Caren Tiger that shows up, that takes EL Gaming to 5-4, that beats team efficiency, that's a team that easily wipes away with Horsemen. But the Caren Tiger that loses to Dark Wolves, you know.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they can't be Caren Tiger that loses to Dark Wolves that plays tonight. If they show up, and honestly, even if they go 0-2 on Himmelsdorf here, I'll be really worried for them, because they need to start off going dead even, I think, with the Horsemen. The Horsemen, of course, they have already had a little bit of practice tonight, but you can think of it the other way, right? You can think of it that the Horsemen, they're already starting to get a bit tired from tonight's matches, so that could play negatively as much as it could positively into their play style tonight. But there's one way to do it, Jordan, one way to find out how or who is going to be winning out this battle. By playing some tanks.
Playing some tanks, indeed. And starting off on Himmelsdorf, this is a map that I've always thought Horsemen was fairly good on. I thought Caren Tiger, you know, I never felt as though they were amazing on Himmelsdorf. I just feel as though they are decent. So best case scenario, in my opinion, I think here is it's just going to be a 1-1 for Caren Tiger. But if Horsemen, they're the ones that can get the 2-0 and start off well. Right.
If they can get the 2-0 and start off well, that's obviously very good for them. They did look strong in it up against B Gaming there. They really used the mobility of their tanks to their advantage, got some good flanks. Sphinx was one to look out for. If he's in that bat chat, Caren Tiger need to have a Hawkeye on that man. To kind of really try and shut him down, because if he gets behind your team like he does so often on Himmelsdorf in that bat chat, then you know you're in a lot of trouble if you're Caren Tiger.
Well, you can't let anyone get behind you on Himmelsdorf if you know, if they're in an autoloader, be it a bat chat, be it a 50B, be it anything else, which we probably won't be seeing too much of. But anything that gets behind you that has an autoloader is always going to pose a massive problem on Himmelsdorf. So that's something that's quite key here on this map. I definitely think that, though, that both of these teams are fairly comfortable on the map, and I would be looking towards a 1-1 as opposed to anything else, really.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to be locking in the 1-1 as well. I don't think we're going to be seeing a 2-0 from anyone here. We'll be surprised if we did, but of course we do have to think about what tank picks these guys are going to be locking in for Himmelsdorf. I mean, we did see a couple of T95s coming out from B Gaming. Didn't work out that well, but I think they still can. B Gaming maybe just not playing against the Horsemen too well there on Himmelsdorf. I think here maybe it's Caren Tiger that brings out a T95, a T110E4, you know, that big American tank destroyer, the big gun, high penetration.
I reckon they probably might take well, a bunch of Mousers. That would make sense. I'd say a bat chat. Poly tends to always play a bat chat regardless. Or maybe a bat chat AP. We'll see. It depends on what side they start on as well. I think
not a fan of the bat chat AP.
I know.
You can leave that out for me. You know,
we do have a bat chat, so there we go. Just a bat chat for Caren Tiger.
I'm liking Caren Tiger's lineup. Look at that. Not only have they got that that WZ111, they've got the T95 in there as well. They've got that T110E3. So very versatile. Mixing it up a little bit with that WZ and the T95 rather than the double T95, so they're not that kind of limited.
Yep.
Horsemen, though, with that Type 5 heavy, I mean, look, it's a little bit tricky with that Type 5 heavy, right? Because it really depends on what situations it gets itself in. Because if it gets itself just, you know, firing against any of those heavy tanks on the Caren Tiger side, or the T95 or the T110E3, it's not going to be doing anything effectively, you know, unless it's in like a really long range extended trading situation.
Yep.
But if it gets a good shot onto Yupa, you know, that's curtains for Yupa sort of thing.
Yep.
So it really depends.
Good shot from Sphinx to start off. Also a nice damage roll. 455 out of your bat chat. Boy, couldn't complain about that at all.
Yeah, good little shooting there from Sphinx. Yupa just cleaning up these rail carts as well, making it a little bit easier for him to spot stuff around there.
As of yet, hasn't spotted much though.
No, well,
Nor
that's
is Horsemen, but they're still sort of plodding along out of base right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Horsemen, look, they've got that heavy up the top there near the castle. It's going to be Hokyao up in that one, the E100. I don't mind putting the E100 up there. You know, it's got one hell of a alpha damage on it, 750 alpha. So it is kind of like a really big, really visible gorilla that has 2,900 hit points.
Make it sound so OP. Alright, well, what is Horseman going to do here? They're very, very spread out across the map, so it's not like they're committing to anything just yet. They're sort of playing that information game, seeing where they get spotted, who they can spot, and just making sure that they choose the right side of the map to commit to. Because, as Max said earlier on today, like if you commit to the wrong side in a mouse or a Type 5 heavy with that kind of a composition, it takes you so long to actually get back across to the other side. So you really have to pick your battles.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, Horsemen still just sticking around the center there. I'm not too sure what they hope to accomplish because, look, they've got Mausers here, right? Mausers inherently are not a great tank at actually doing these sorts of trades across the map, particularly when they're trying to trade it out against, you know, the T95s, the T110E3s, because look at that, the T95 can HE the Gorilla. Gorilla's not going to be able to get anything through him. That's
Okay, I was trying to get the
oh my goodness,
gun depression there to try and shoot Maro, but I'm not sure if he's got it, to be honest. I don't think he can actually shoot down there like that far. If Maro backs off a bit, sure, but not from that point. So Horsemen just again, like they're playing very, very slowly here. They don't want to make a mistake. Gorilla's already lost his commander. Wonder if he's got a med kit. Nope.
No, is the answer. So that is not ideal.
Great. That is not great.
Particularly because he is the one that's pushing this far up, you know. You really would want to have a commander here just for that extra spotting, for the extra everything, a little bit of everything really. Obviously, when that commander's dead as well, any of the perks that the commander has do not apply. For those that may not know, so it means no sixth sense. You know, he doesn't know if he's spotted or not, unless he actually spots someone out himself.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess in your mouse, being spotted or unspotted is not the biggest of concerns. Like, for example, it would be for a RU251 or a bat chat. You know, if you're spotted and you get shot, you're like, oh, I'm dead. But in a mouse, if you get spotted and you get shot, you're like, oh.
That was a good little trade there from, I think it was Nandesu in the Type 5 Heavy there. He just, you know, threw a derp shell right back at Zenlon when Zenlon tried to trade with him and managed to win that. Another one going through, that one's not going to hit. Obviously the Type 5 Heavy's gun very, very inaccurate, something like 0.6 meters per 100 meters accuracy, which is pretty woeful.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want it to be particularly accurate, otherwise it would be not very fun to play against. Not that it is necessarily very fun to play against at the best of times anyway. Depends on what tank you're playing in though, I suppose.
I like running into it, you know, in my Tortoise.
A lot of health to farm.
Yeah.
Horsemen are starting to push down that hill just a little bit here. Trying to get some control over that map. Potentially trying to draw a rotation across from Caren Tiger. See if they can get them more interested up towards this 0 line as opposed to the 1 flag. Because to me it looks like they're going to want to get Spencer on that 1 flag. So the more people that they can rotate across to the 0 line is just the ideal situation for them, really. Because it means less people over to the 1 flag. But Spencer taking that much damage as he crosses into the flag, not good. He's only got 1 shot worth of HP left, right? Anyone that shoots him kills him. And that's basically, straight off the bat, the cap pressure gone. Because no one else is going to be able to get on the cap.
Yeah, that's not great there from Spencer. Polly does take a shot as well, and it's looking like the Horsemen going to be making the move up here. And
Nice poke from Akiovi. He knew Hokiao was on the reload, so free shot for him. He could go for the trade again, but Hokiao's reloaded this time.
yeah, that's the issue. You don't want to take 750 damage to just give 450.
Yeah. Sphinx coming around behind though. Akiovi maybe in trouble here. He needs the backup though from his teammates, and he's not really getting it. Going up against a Batchat. I don't think the Batchat has enough damage. No, he doesn't. He can't clip out Akiovi, and Maro just absolutely wrecks Sphinx. I'm not 100% sure what Sphinx was actually doing there, because he did just walk into a crossfire, and it was unlikely that he was going to be able to clip out Akiovi, perhaps expecting Hokiao to push in with him, get the shots in, something like that. But whatever the case, it didn't quite work out. He has wasted a little bit of time of Caren Tiger though, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's done it, because the cap timer, it's not super low at this point, but it's getting lower. 40 seconds still should be enough here for Caren Tiger to reset.
Shot.
That is a good shot though, but it does allow Akiovi to cross relatively unscathed.
Well, there's over 1k damage there, so that's really not ideal. But
no, definitely.
Deco and Polly not looking too healthy themselves. Akiovi's just gone down, and Spencer 20 seconds left. Polly, he can't push up. They need someone coming behind. Yupa.
That's the whole point of Yupa pushing down the banana here, was to get the reset, and he will be able to do that. There's no way that Spencer is going to be able to stop that, and does get taken down. So basically, a very, very good play from Yupa. We kind of highlighted the fact that he took 1,000 damage, but in my mind, taking that 1,000 damage or however much damage that he took was well worth it to be able to get that reset. And now that really puts the onus back on Horsemen here to try and make something happen. And with these tanks left alive, I don't see them being able to make anything happen.
This is starting to get dangerous for the Horsemen, because they've got tanks now that are 1 shot, 2 shots from death. You know, there we go. Zenlong takes down Nundesu. Zenlong does go down himself, which is quite a bit of damage off the field there for Caren Tiger, but they've still got Monomae, they've still got a Batchat, they've still got 3 Mousers left up, or make that 2 as Polly's just gone down himself.
Oh no, you need to pen that as Maro. That's definitely a shot that you can't afford to miss. Admittedly, Hokiao's not able to pen him, so I guess that's just this kind of a meta. And admittedly, I suppose even if he had have gone down, Caren Tiger was still in a pretty decent position here to close this one out. There's no way that both of those Mousers can get over there and kill him, and he's the one that they need to kill, essentially, because he's the fastest one, and he's just going to keep running away, running circles around the Mousers. And even now, like, if he did take a fight, right, there's barely any chance that you'd think Gorilla and OBOV are going to be able to take down both the T95 and the Mouse, as well as the Batchat. So.
Yeah, exactly, they can't. So, I mean, good shot from OBOV on towards that T95. They're not easy to get through that Tier 9 Tank Destroyer's armor.
They're not even going to kill Maro by the looks of things.
You got to give it to OBOV. He's putting these shots in. He knows how to kind of, you know, thread the needle, make those shots penetrate.
Well, I mean, if you're shooting the back or the side of the Mouse, then maybe it's not so difficult as threading the needle. But yes, he has been a fairly consistent player for Horsemen. Generally across the board, like since he came into this roster, I think he's been a good pickup for Horsemen.
100%. So there we go. That will be it for Mr. Maro. 3 seconds left, and Yupa is not going to be showing his face, which is a good move. So
Caren Tiger wins.
Caren Tiger wins.
Timeout. Wonder if we'll be seeing a few more of those tonight. I suspect we probably will, given the meta, but a good win nonetheless for Caren Tiger. They always looked relatively in control, even though it gets down to just the final 2 tanks left alive, 1 on each team. There was never a chance that Horseman was going to win that.
Never. Absolutely. That was, look, a good try there from the Horsemen. They did get a lot of early cap pressure on, and that little bit of a rotate from Yupa that got him down the banana line. He did take 1,000 damage for it, but you called it, Jordan. You said it was a good, worth it play, and it definitely was, because that allowed him to get behind. That allowed him to get that reset. It was when it was less than 20 seconds away from happening, and that sealed the deal. As soon as that reset happened, it was just a Caren Tiger favoured brawl.
Well, that was really the key part of that entire sort of a map. Like, that could have gone the way of Horseman had that reset not come out. It was getting very close. Admittedly, it did look like Caren Tiger had somewhat of an advantage because of the fact that Sphinx kind of just drove in and died very early on that A-line. I don't really know what he was hoping for there. Oh, well, I know what he was hoping for. He was hoping to take down Akiovi, but it was never going to work like that, and so he kind of just threw his life away. That's a mistake from Horseman. Maybe the fatigue sort of setting in there. It is only the first round, though, of this match, and we need to see Horsemen sort of getting into it here, because if they do drop 2-0 on Himmelsdorf, which is a map which they've picked, which I think that they're slightly favoured on, then they are going to be in a bit of a problem. They have a lot of rounds to come back into because it is best of 13. You have to get to 7 as opposed to 5, so there's a little bit of extra leeway, but you really can't be relying on that.
No, you can't. You need to be winning everything you can, every single map you can, in this sort of a scenario. So, like, we'll take a look back at some of those big plays, and this was not a big play from Sphinx. This honestly could have been one of the main reasons why Horsemen actually lost that, because that was a bad chat that did nothing.
Yeah.
Like Sphinx just poked out there. It's like he expected absolutely no one else from Caren Tiger to be around, apart from that WZ, which was not the case at all.
Yeah, well, all the Mouse is doing a fairly decent job. More Dame as well in his T95 getting work done.
That is why I love the T95 as a pick. It just is a damage machine. It is a tier 9 tank destroyer, and I bet if we were to check the damage blocked on that T95, it would be a very respectable number as well. So, for a tier 9 tank to do that, what more can you ask?
Nothing really. That's more than enough from a tier 9 tank as far as I'm concerned. T95, good tank. Seems.
It's a brilliant tank, and ever since the buff, I said as soon as I saw that buff, like the T95, it should be picked, and it is being picked now, and it is working. Working even better than that T1 10E3, I guess, which did get poked down a little bit earlier on, but Nundesu there in the Type 5 Heavy didn't really have that much of an impact. I think that was the danger, there of going that Type 5 Heavy. Got a few okay trades off early on when he was able to, use that high explosive shell just to get a bit of splash on towards the T1 10E3.
Yeah.
But really, it wasn't a high impact tank, that Type 5.
No, another high impact tank. Well, Spencer, not really one of those. Unfortunately for him, Himmelsdorf is not the playground of a tier 8 light tank player. He essentially just had to sit on that flag, didn't get much damage done. A little bit of damage into Yupa when Yupa did come around the back and try and get that reset, but, I mean, like, what else are you going to do in an MX1390 on that kind of a map, in that kind of a matchup against a bunch of Mousers? You have to get behind them, and sometimes that's not the easiest of tasks.
Exactly. That is never going to be easy. I mean, like, Yupa there, he got behind. Spencer, though, he was able to get that really good reset and essentially secure the win there for Caren Tiger. But Caren Tiger, they're on the offense now, right? They're moving over. It is a less favoured side from them. They do prefer the defense on Himmelsdorf by quite a bit. And Horsemen preferred the defense on Hills. So maybe if we're expecting this to go 1-1, then this could be a Horseman win.
Yeah, it's the expected situation here. Caren Tiger, if they were going to get around, it was going to be on the defense there. So Horsemen are moving over to the favoured side, as you say. So I think this is still sitting on a 1-1. Even though that was a fairly convincing victory from Caren Tiger, it is only the first round. Can't read into it all that much. We just need to see a little bit more of this matchup. I mean, it's going to be too early to call, really, before we get down to maybe the third or the fourth map. Then seeing how things are starting to play out a little bit, that's when we're going to start to be able to say, okay, looks like Caren Tiger's going to win this. It looks like Horseman's going to win this.
Yeah. It's definitely too early now. I agree with you that. But right now in the next half of Himmelsdorf here, we didn't see the Horsemen do anything too crazy on their defense against B Gaming. They went super standard, maybe even a FE215B, we might think, from Hokyao, Mr. FE215B himself. Apart from that, I would be surprised, I think, a little bit to see another Type 5 from them. Feels like the Type 5 probably doesn't offer enough in this sort of a matchup where Caren Tiger aren't going to be picking those lighter, too many of those lighter tanks. I don't see Caren Tiger going with anything more than a Bat Chat and an AMX 1390 here.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Though they do like the 50B. Yupa's a very good 50B player.
That's true.
Could be something that we might see coming out from Caren Tiger. Not tonight, though, by the looks of things. There is a 50B on Horseman. That'll be Archon. He very regularly plays that on the defensive side of Himmelsdorf and generally has a fairly decent time in it as well. Now, that's interesting. We've got a WTF LFP Z4 for Horseman.
Yeah, so look, I don't mind that. I actually really like those picks there from Horsemen. And Caren Tiger, I mean, look, they've got the T1 10E4, which is always nice, but the Horsemen going with that T95, going with that Waffenträger of Panzer IV.
Panzer I'm going to go with the whole German thing.
Yeah, Panzer IV. It's a pretty solid tank destroyer. I mean, these tier 9 tank destroyers really underrated in my eyes, because they're often, kind of built to play against tier 10s.
Well, they are built to play against tier 10s, yes. But I think the reason they probably picked this is the fact that they did want something that could reliably pen a mouse. And that's what that is. And he can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So it's just another damage threat, really, here that Caren Tiger kind of have to worry about.
Yep, yep. I mean, look,
it's a bit more mobile than the T95 as well.
It needs to be more mobile, right? So Hokia, he can't just pick that and play along one line like a T95 would and expect to do as much, because the T95, if you're going to do that, then you may as well just pick the T95. So I think right now, Nico Best Waifu, he's going to be sitting down there looking down that D line and just doing T95 things. Of course, the Waffenträger Ulf Panzer IV does have pretty good guns, 750 average damage, 330 mils a pen.
Yeah.
With a nice...
It's enough to get through a mouse.
Yeah.
Mordame's gone for a scouting run right now up through the banana line. Don't always see Mordame in a 1390.
No, we don't actually. We do not. And a bit of a fun fact for everyone.
Oh, how fun is it going to be, Alex?
It's going to be pretty fun. So obviously the grill.
It's better be pretty fun.
I'm a fun guy, Jordan. Like,
yeah? Is that what you like to think? Is that what you tell the girls in the club?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, my name's Alex. I'm a fun guy.
I'm a fun guy.
And then they say, what kind of mushroom are you? Get it? Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I think you've been hanging around
all right.
Ben Green too long.
Maybe.
With all these dad jokes.
Tell us the fun fact, Alex.
Well, the fun fact for everyone, it's an amazing fact, is that the Waffenträger Ulf Panzer IV,
yep,
even though it's a tier 9 TD, even though it's basically the same as the grill, after the grill nerfs, it's actually got more damage per minute than the grill.
Does it?
It's got more damage per minute. It fires faster than the grill because everyone, you know, whatever, the grill got nerfed and now the grill reloads slower. So it's actually a high damage threat.
Okay. Well, that's a bit how you're going. Alrighty, well, Sphinx is in a bit of trouble there as well, taking some damage, but only from a 1390, so what are you going to do? Not too much, really. He's not too bothered. I don't know what he's, like, what is he doing in here, really?
Goodness.
Like, really, what is Sphinx doing here?
Like,
because this is not a position that he needs to be in right now.
And he hasn't taken anyone down.
He's going to die.
If he'd have
died to that 1390.
Exactly. If he'd have bursted someone down, then maybe that would have been worth it. But instead, Caren Tiger have just taken down one Batchat, one AMX 50B, two of the highest damage threats on the Horseman lineup. And now what are Horsemen left with? They've left with some Mausers, a T95, and a squishy Waffenträger.
You can see what he was trying to do there. You can see they were trying to control the map. Archon trying to put some pressure on Caren Tiger as well. And admittedly, they have actually done decent amount of damage over to Caren Tiger. Look at the health difference. Horseman is far, far ahead. But at this point in the game, you have to feel as though having 7 tanks left alive, as opposed to 5, particularly when one of them is a Batchat, you know, and an E4, like a very high damage threats, Caren Tiger's in the pole position here.
Yep. Absolutely. Caren Tiger here. Looking very strong. Yeah.
They just have to actually get in the place to fight, because that's going to be their problem, is if they take 1 or 2 shells here before they actually get into the fight, right? For example, let's say Zenlon takes a shell and Adeko takes a shell. Then they're both getting into the realms of maybe getting one shot by a T95 or something like that. So they need to be careful. It's not like it's all said and done here for Caren Tiger.
No, it's definitely not all said and done, but I mean, Nundesu here, like, he's not in a good spot, and that's the other issue with that Waffenträger. It does have higher damage, but the accuracy is quite a bit lower than the grills, and it's not a super accurate gun. So it's not going to have an easy time firing all the way down there on towards those Mausers and hitting the spots that it needs to. So that's why we're not seeing too much damage actually traded back just yet on towards those Mausers. And look, I really think we need to see Nico Best Waifu and that T95 start to come up big here for the Horsemen. You know, he needs to be getting out in front. He needs to be trying to ricochet a few shells, you know, getting the big 750 damage trades out into Caren Tiger. A few of those, and, you know, Caren Tiger will be in trouble.
Yeah, Caren Tiger, it's not going to be incredibly easy for them here. really, because the fact that they're
No,
up
it's
against
not.
those 2 tank destroyers, like not even just the T95, but the WTF PZ4, like that is also going to be a problem for them because they're not going to be able to spot that so easily.
Yeah.
Like, and they can't afford to just take a free shot from it because, as you said, 750 alpha damage, same fairly similar for T95. Like, it's just they can't afford to be taking that damage right now, even though they have the extra tanks in the game. The fact that their health is so low,
Yeah.
does mean that this is still winnable for Horsemen.
Yeah.
And the Horsemen being on the defense as well is so helpful, which means they don't have to be making the moves. They can be sitting in their positions waiting for someone to come down into their angle. And that's really what the defensive side is about. It's about funneling your opponents into your angles. You know, you need to set up your sort of a defensive side so that your opponents are going to walk into your shots.
Yeah, and this is it, right? So the Horsemen now, they are in a perfect position just to sit and hold. Nico Best Waifu, he's going to be perfectly happy down there. I think it might be somewhat easier to maybe go through the back or something like that of the T95 from that angle, but
I'd like to just see here for Caren Tiger make their way onto that 2 flag because that's what's undefended at the moment. Mordame seems to have cottoned onto that, or at least he's going to have a look around there and see what is actually going on over by the 2 flag because I believe I thought there was a player actually sitting on the 6 line in the position we normally see for the resets, but it doesn't appear to be the case. Maybe someone's rotated off here for Horsemen, and this is going to be good. This is good for Caren Tiger because it forces Horsemen to make a move, and that's what Caren Tiger wants. It means that they can get spots easier, they can allow Horsemen to come into them, and it sort of, in a sense, nullifies the effectiveness of the TDs, particularly the WTF Alpha PZ4, because that is not a tank destroyer that you want to be moving and pushing into your opponent with. With the T95, you can maybe make the argument that it's got armor, you can push your opponent with that one. But the WTF Alpha PZ4, he wants to sit down a line and keep shooting you. He doesn't want to be pushing into you. But this is kind of the last chance, really, for Caren Tiger, because they don't have much time to work with. 2.5 minutes, this kind of has to work.
yeah, this absolutely has to work. And I mean, Nico Best Waifu, he's in a great position to hold off any pushes down there. Akio V and Zenlong, they're not too close, actually. Well, Polly as well, and look at this. We've got 34 seconds left on the cap. That T110E4 Nadeko is just trying to get in there. Takes the shot from Gorilla as well. And there's 26 seconds left, but Gorilla should be able to make his way around and get that reset.
Yeah, well, 20 seconds to do that. So here we go. Let's have a look and see. Gorilla, he's got to push forward right now, but he's not. And Yupa's come around the side. What's Yupa in? Batchat. That could cause some problems for Gorilla. Maybe not going to be able to clip him out, but Gorilla... Oh! He hit it. I thought it went past him, but he does manage to get the reset. Is it going to be too little too late here for Horsemen, though? Because they are losing tanks across the board, and there are 3 tanks of Caren Tiger on that cap. Now only 2. They should still win. Caren Tiger should win this. Yeah, no one can come and reset. There's no one fast enough.
Yep.
So I think Caren Tiger's won.
Yeah, as long as they stay on the cap, that should be it. I mean, the T95, it's a speedy tank now, but it's not speedy enough.
No, it's not really a speedy
tank.
tank
It's not
now.
that speedy, I'm sorry.
It's like saying a snail's speedy.
Yeah.
There we go. That's going to be it. Capped out by Caren Tiger. So 2-0 now in their favor after the first pick of Horsemen. Can't complain about that at all. It's a very, very good start there for CT.
Cannot complain one little bit. So look, if you're Caren Tiger, you're pretty happy with that. You know, going to against the Horsemen, who aren't slouches on Himmelsdorf.
No, definitely not.
So yeah,
maybe which Caren Tiger we've seen show up today. It could be
the
dominant Caren Tiger.
Absolutely.
Yupa's gone Hulk mode.
With a Caren Tiger that jumps on top of you, sinks its claws into you.
From what I know of the Caren Tiger players, I don't think that's a very relatable analogy.
Yeah. How's that?
We'll see. We'll see, though. Maybe they will. I like it when Yupa gets angry on Twitter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
then can reply back.
I can't tell when Yupa gets angry on Twitter because he tweets in Japanese.
Well, you just press translate, and then he usually puts like 5 or 6 angry face emoticons. So I think it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
You just put like lots of funny gifs at him, and it just keeps triggering him. That's the best bit.
That sounds fun.
It is. You should try it. But maybe not tonight. Maybe not tonight, because Caren Tiger started off well. So maybe he's going to be posting some happy faces.
Yeah, maybe some happy face.
Happy like Alex.
Yeah,
happy
exactly.
Chappy.
I'm a happy chappy. I mean, you know.
Maybe too happy.
Maybe look, I had a donut before we
did.
came on air, and it had custard in it.
Mine had
some
custard
little,
in it too.
little bits on top. Like
Wait, did
little-
you have the chocolate one with custard inside it?
No, it wasn't chocolate. It
Oh,
had
that's
like
fine.
bits
That was
on
mine.
top. But anyways, Mudame, yeah, he just got taken out of that gorilla. He did get that reset, but I mean, look how much damage he took for it. That was pretty much a free mouse kill for Caren Tiger just to get that reset, and that's exactly what it's designed to do. Waffenträger auf Panzer 4. I mean, there you go. Like, it's obviously not a bad tank destroyer, and I think the stats back that up. It is, like, realistically speaking, there's not many situations where I would pick a grill over a WGL Panzer 4 now.
Yeah.
Because the grill, it doesn't have that mobility advantage now. Really, it's got...
I guess it depends whether
accuracy.
you want to take a tier 8 tank or not, though, because the tier 8 tank, depending on the situation, can actually, in certain positions, be more impactful than the tier 9. For example, you get a scout tank like on Prokhorovka or something, and get him on the in the bush or something like that. His extra camera value, his extra view range, maybe is going to be a little bit more useful than another tier 10 tank, or another tier 9 tank, sorry. Like a Batchat AP, let's say, for example. But definitely a question to ask for a lot of these teams, whether or not they want to go for that. I think the major problem with how that went for Horsemen is, like, they should have probably won that one had Sphinx and Archon not gone down so early. Like, Sphinx and Archon, they kind of just walked into Caren Tiger, who was set up, just waiting. There wasn't really...
Best Waifu, sorry, needed to do more than that.
Yeah.
958.
That's true, but Archon, like, he shot it 11 times. I know he was clearing out some of the debris around on the tank line, along the train line, sorry. But even to only do 823 damage, Sphinx at least got almost all of his shots off.
Yeah.
Missing a couple there, but, like, you can't have your 50B and your Batchat do 1500 damage and 800 damage respectively and expect to win. And given how close that was, like, that was definitely winnable for Horsemen. Imagine if they had an extra 50B or an extra Batchat. I don't really understand the point of pushing when you're on the defensive side like that. Because they didn't have information, otherwise they wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, like...
You can argue they wanted to get information, but at the cost of dropping 2 tier 10 tanks, is it really worth it? They clearly didn't do it right.
It's not worth it. No, not at all. Yeah, if that AMX 50B had done a little bit more, if Sphinx had done a little bit more, honestly, if that T95 had done a little bit more as well, because, like, essentially getting 2 shots off and 2 shots through, I didn't, like, I thought that was an okay position of the T95, but thinking through it again, it actually wasn't that good of a position of the T95 because it didn't block anything. You know, the idea of a T95 is that you block a certain area, you block a corridor, you know, you block a line or you block an area, but it didn't block anything. It just was able to get a few shots to dudes on the hill and trade with them if they wanted to trade with it, which they didn't. But that was basically it, you know.
Well, yeah.
I would much rather have seen him, like, close to the cap or actually blocking off the move through the central courtyard, you know, rather than doing what he was doing.
And that's another problem with taking the double tier 9 strategy as well, is that you don't necessarily have a tank which you can kind of throw away. Like, you don't want to obviously throw away your tier 8 tank, but if you had a tier 8 tank on the defensive side, that's the guy that you send forward, that's the guy that gets the spots, that's the guy that figures out where Caren Tiger is sitting, and then you don't lose your 50B and your Batchat.
Yeah, but
admittedly,
you don't send the 50B and the Batchat out if you don't have those spots. It's very simple. You know, with the tier 9 strategy in Myers works really well because you are essentially a tank up. You're essentially a tier 10 tank up. You know, it does not actually, but in a brawl, you've got the brawling power of basically tier 10s, 7 tier 10s in your lineup. You know, the Waffenträger of Panzer 4, if that gets its damage out in a brawl, it does more damage than a grill. So that's what you want to be doing. You just want to be sitting back and letting them come to you. You don't need to be doing any kind of crazy flanks or anything like that to win a fight.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you do need to be doing flanks if you've got a Batchat and a 50B,
possible,
but not that early in the game.
Exactly.
Right? That's not a flank. That's a scouting run.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If they had allowed Horsemen to come, if they had allowed Caren Tiger to commit to either of those flags, it looked like they were going to the rail track, more likely than not. That allows, you know, the hill's probably going to be fairly open, you'd think, for the 50B or the Batchat. Even the banana is more than likely going to be open for them to come around behind. And that's what we saw Yupa doing last game. But not that time for Horsemen. They just didn't do it. So they went too early. They played a little bit too aggressive on that defensive side. It has cost them. They're down 2-0 now. And Caren Tiger in a good position to really start to get ahead here. Going onto their map choice of Ghost Town. Admittedly, though, I can't really favour them on this, right? It has to go 1-1 in my eyes.
Yeah, look, I think so as well. 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised to see Caren Tiger maybe pull out a very close 2-0. But yeah, the Horsemen, they're good at Ghost Town. You know, they've shown that they can brawl pretty effectively, but here we go, tank picks. AMX 50B for the Horsemen. Nothing really too crazy. Caren Tiger, I like their double bat chats here because they can use them quite effectively. They kind of, you know, go in the buddy up system. They buddy up those 2 bat chats and they push them around the flank and they just take control of that entire flank. That's in theory what they should be able to do here against the Horsemen. You know, push them south and all the way up that western flank and try and overpower whatever Horsemen have got left there.
All right, well, it's pretty typical of both these lineups, what we're seeing coming out here. Caren Tiger, I would say, if you think WZ111 and you think Ghost Town, the first team you really think of would be Caren Tiger. So that's always sort of their go-to strategy here. They have Polly and Hellcry in the bat chats. Polly's kind of like their bat chat main. But honestly, I kind of feel as though he's maybe not the strongest of players in the bat chat. Like I'd say I think Safi's stronger. I think Vicetone's stronger. I think Yupa's probably stronger in a bat chat. Who else plays a bat chat a lot? Pink Pig. I think Pink Pig's a better bat chat player.
Blast.
Yeah, well, maybe not Blast, but a lot of the time, I think Polly just doesn't get enough damage out in that bat chat. So this could be key here for Caren Tiger. I sometimes think he just, you know, just doesn't have the impact that he needs to in a bat chat. But we'll see. If he's down the bottom of the scoreboard here again for Caren Tiger and they've lost, then we can go back and revisit this topic. But if he steps up in a game like this, gets the damage out, who are we to complain?
Because this is the game where you need to step up, right? It doesn't, like, obviously it does matter the rest of the season, but if he can step up and pull through in this game, then, you know, this is one of the most important games this season. You know, this does determine seeding. If they go up against Team Efficiency, a team that they can beat, then they could very well be, you know, second place in this entire season. Or even first.
Who's to say they can't beat EL Gaming either? It's possible. They took them to 5-4. They do have a strong map pool, but obviously I would be favouring EL in that sort of a situation. But on the day, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but there we go. We're getting the Mousers in towards that cap, and it is actually going to be only 1 flag on the cap. There's 2 for Caren Tiger, 3. And they're actually pushing the Mousers up very aggressively now. This is a little bit worrying for the Horsemen. They do have an option to flank through that 7 line, though, to get some resets. So I'm not too sure what the bat chats here of Caren Tiger are doing, though. When are they going to push in?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They're the key players right now for Caren Tiger. This up on towards the 1 flag is more of a bait. They're obviously going to get a brawl for Caren Tiger, but it's coming down to when those bat chats can strike, right? If they can catch off Sphinx, the timing, it could be so crucial. If they get down to like the 6 line before Sphinx spots them, then Sphinx is dead. He doesn't have anywhere that he can run. And here we go.
There he is.
I think Sphinx is dead right now. He's under a lot of pressure. Look at that. Polly and Hellcry, they've gotten the timing perfect. And that is going to be a big, big win for Caren Tiger in that small little, I suppose, passage of play. But Archon has found one. Under pressure as well, though, and he should probably go down admittedly here. Although, is the Mouse going to get the shot in here? Maybe not. Mordame trying to push him. Overall, I would say that's a favourable trade for Caren Tiger. They get a bat chat down for a WZ111. Take that.
I would say so, and it looks like those bat chats are just screaming through, going to be focusing down Archon as soon as they're reloaded. One more shot from Polly.
These bat chats are coming up big for Caren Tiger.
Yeah, this is good stuff there from those 2 bat chats, and you can just see a perfectly planned, perfectly thought out strategy from Caren Tiger, just enacted to perfection.
I like this a bit better from Caren Tiger. I'm not sure if they've been running double bat chat throughout the entire season. I feel like they've only been taking the single bat chat and then they've had like a type 5 heavy or something as well, or something random like that. But I just think the double bat chat is working so much better than either we've seen it so far for Caren Tiger, or I just think they've only been taking the single bat chat. And that's where Polly struggles a little bit because he doesn't have the potential to clip out his opponents as easily. And when he's got someone else just to back him up there, it just makes it that little bit easier for the bat chats to work together. So I wonder if that's maybe a difference that Caren Tiger's made here for the playoffs. I have to go and have a look at the VODs again.
Yeah, either way, it's definitely working out pretty well for them, Caren Tiger, because they are just about to take down the second last member of the Horsemen. And Polly, I think he's been assigned to chasing duty, janitorial duty there, taking up Spencer.
Yeah, it should be a pretty easy win here for Caren Tiger. Again, another one.
Another one.
3 in a row. And this is a Caren Tiger that is looking very, very good.
Very good. They are looking rock solid as a team. So, look, you can't fault their play there on Ghost Town. They picked a good lineup, and I was thinking, you know, just when seeing those two bat chats sat all the way back there, it's like, wait a minute, there's something wrong. Why aren't the bat chats in the fight yet for Caren Tiger? You know, why are Caren Tiger putting all of their eggs in this one basket on the one flag when, like, they obviously didn't have a good setup to actually try and get the cap and block off all of the roads to the cap. But it's like, wait a minute, Caren Tiger, it was all planned. They didn't want to have all of the roads blocked off to the cap. They wanted Horsemen to get baited into thinking that they could brawl on the cap, and that's exactly what Caren Tiger wanted, because those batchers, they came right down, they came right behind, they caught out Sphinx, they were able to chase up and catch out that AMX 50B right after, and that was it. Beautiful execution.
One of the things to sort of note here is that that's the third map in a row that Sphinx has gotten caught off very, very early on in the piece. Like, he's gone down without firing more than a clip, and when you're in a bat chat, firing one clip is not good enough if you want to win the game.
Against Mousers as well. You know, you need to be firing more than that. It's as simple as that. So, you're right. Not great from Sphinx. He's
struggling.
Dropping it in this one.
Yeah, like, admittedly, someone needs to watch for the rotations, but at the end of the day, if you get caught out like that 3 times in a row and you're in the bat chat, like, why isn't Spencer in that position? He's not getting resets from the boost, because he's in an IE251, he's shooting at Mousers.
Yeah.
You'd rather have the bat chat alive. That's all I'm saying. But there we go. Hokyao in the mouse doing work. Surprised not to see either of the bat chats up there actually for...
Hellcry.
Oh, Hellcry's up there, yep. But look, it was just the bat chats really for me. For Caren Tiger, even though Nadeko's done 4.2k, even though Mario's done 3.3, it was the bat chats that really opened that up.
Yep. No doubt about it. You know, when you think about it, Mario and Nadeko dealing that much damage, it's like one killed a mouse and one killed a mouse and a little bit of one, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not that much when you think about it, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
Polly,
2k from
2k
Polly.
damage,
Good.
you know.
4 kills as well.
Yeah, nice. Really playing clean up there.
So he must have heard us talking about him earlier on.
Yeah, Spencer did all right, I feel, on the boost there. 2k damage. I mean, can you really expect too much more?
No, definitely not. 2k damage from your tier 8, fair enough. But look at that, Sphinx, he gets 1 shot worth of damage off, fires 3. Archon also 1 shot worth of damage, fires 4. Admittedly got a kill, but, like, those two guys are not having a good night. At least in this matchup against B Gaming, maybe a bit better. But for here, Archon and Sphinx, they really need to step up. If they're going to continue to take the 50B and take the bat chat, which are essentially playmaking tanks, and they're being shut down so early on in the piece.
The plays. It's as simple as that.
Well, they're not making plays. They're having plays made against them. So they need to turn this around.
They're getting played.
Yeah, they're getting played. They need to turn things around fast. That's for sure.
Yep. Will they be able to? That is the question.
Let us know. Good.
Let us know, guys. Do you think that they'll be able to turn it around? Will we see some big plays?
Turn it around
from Sphinx and Archon.
I'm turning it around, Alex.
Are they going to do what Jordan just did there?
I don't know. Do they have a swivel chair at home?
They're nice swivel chairs, actually. They're very low friction. That's how I like it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure I needed to know that, Alex, but okay.
Oh, for a swivel chair.
Oh, right. Well...
Swivel around very fast.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, let's talk about some tanks a little bit more.
Really?
Caren Tiger moving on to the defensive side of Ghost Town. 3-0 up. If they go 4-0 up, like, can Horsemen even come back from that?
4-0. I mean, like, we think about what other maps we've got in the pool. We've got Ruinberg next.
Which I think is maybe the best map in the pool for Caren Tiger.
Yeah.
Though they have struggled a little bit more on this patch. When they were their only team
You're
taking
not
the
wrong.
mouse,
You're
they
not
were
wrong.
looking a lot stronger.
Yep,
But
yep.
in saying that, I
But they
still
know
think
it.
it's a good one.
Yeah, they know it. Then we've got Prokhorovka, which is at least a
50-50,
1-1.
yeah.
So
So let's say this is a 4-0. Roomberg then we think is going to both be a 2-0, which means we're 6-0. 7-1 Prokhorovka?
we'll put it this way: if it gets to that stage, I know Caren Tiger. They've choked before, right? They've really dropped the ball before when they've had big advantages. But I don't think they're going to be dropping the ball that much if they
That
get
is
to
true.
a 6-0.
Yeah, that is true. But, you know, last time we saw, or well, the first time actually we saw that Horsemen and Caren Tiger playing this season, Caren Tiger was up 3-0, and then they lost 5-3. So it's not without precedent here. Like, Horsemen could definitely come back into this one straight away. But it have to start, I think it has to start now, because Roomberg is a tough ask for Horsemen, considering it is one of their worst maps and one of Caren Tiger's best maps. Let's see what they've gone, though. It's the same setup they ran against B Gaming, I think, there on the attack.
Yep,
257 heavy. Who was Nundesu in that?
I like the T57 heavy. Yeah, it's a very solid tank. In this situation, you know, you can get some really good shots off with it, really good damage off. It's got a 4-clip autoloader and some of the highest DPM in the game, you know. And DPM against Mousers, if it stays alive, it's going to be a big threat.
Yeah, definitely. But staying alive is the important question. Spencer's going for this boost again. You saw him do that earlier against B Gaming.
Yeah,
Like, to me, it's not an impactful boost.
I don't
really.
think it does anything.
Like, you can spot stuff, but what are you realistically going to be shooting?
Yeah, I think it's a very passive defensive boost.
It is a defensive boost. Caren Tiger, let's see, have they gone for double bat chat? Yes, they have. So that makes sense. If they want to have Spencer up there on that boost, just to spot out, there is double bat chat, right? And Caren Tiger, they are prone to rotate around through the J line and then up the 0 line. So it makes sense to have a guy in the boost.
Valid.
Whether or not they will, though, whether or not Horseman's going to allow them, we have to find out. If you pen that, well, I was going to say, that would be so crazy. Hitting this kind of a shot, it's like almost impossible. Especially in a T57 heavy, which is not the most accurate of tanks.
Yeah, Nunde, so they're going to be retreating back a little bit. And right now, Caren Tiger, I mean, a fairly traditional defensive setup. Kind of, they can flex towards a 1 flag, flex towards a 2 flag if they need. And Horsemen, oh, we've got the car cam again.
Car cam. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I reckon it would be scary if you were in a car like that and there was just a big mouse driving around.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
except
like
there
that.
wouldn't be because there was never really any mouses driving around. So, Helkrai there in the bat chat, going to be moving up a little bit. Interesting to see him and Polly not actually going for any flank down the 1 line or down that J line. Maybe they're going to be trying to push out towards the Horseman spawn.
Maybe.
You know.
Very, very grouped up
Wow,
here.
look at
Imagine if they
this.
catch off 1 or 2 of those Horseman
Yeah.
tanks. Which they won't, because we can see on the map that there isn't anyone there. But if there was someone in the death alley, they'd be dead.
Yeah, 100%. Polly and Helkrai there. Interesting that they're just waiting so far, like, playing on so cautiously, so passively.
This is very different from Caren
Yeah,
Tiger. You don't
yeah.
often see the defensive side pushing like this. So they want to catch Horseman off guard. They've got a good idea that Horseman is not on the northern side of the map. They feel as though Horseman is in the southern positions. But this is still... It's somewhat of a risky play for Caren Tiger, because if they kind of run around a corner and there's like a bunch of Horseman tanks there, then GG. But if they run around a corner and they catch off a Horseman tank,
Yeah, yeah.
then... well, more favourable GG, I suppose. But they are sort of well set up now to defend that 2 flag. They can get resets relatively easily here.
Polly on the boost. I think Polly might have just boosted himself up
Yeah, it looks
towards
like
the
it might be.
8-8. So, yep. There you go. Not
You can, I think, get shots into the 2 flag from here.
right. I mean, it would be a bit of a stretch, though,
It's-
getting shots into Mousers on the 2 flag from up there with the bat chat.
Maybe I'm thinking of another boost. But yeah, regardless, with the bat chat, not the most accurate of tanks, of course. Still, if you let it aim in fully, it's generally pretty reliable. Still waiting for Horsemen to get on that flag.
Yeah, they're really not wanting to make a mistake here, Horsemen.
It feels to me like all the teams tonight have been a little bit more passive
Yeah, a little bit
than
more
they
antsy.
would normal.
Yep, 100%. 100%. So right now, that's what we're saying from the Horsemen, not wanting to push in, because that's the issue for the Horsemen, right? They don't have any intel. They haven't really spotted out Caren Tiger at any point.
Sphinx
in this
is
map.
going up towards the north though, and he's getting information due to the fact that he's not getting information.
Yep.
So they know where Caren Tiger is now.
Yeah, that's actually quite important. That's quite a good scout there from Sphinx. You know, playing it safe, a little bit safe, and not actually just rushing in. Look at that, just sitting in a little bush.
Yep.
That is important.
Doesn't look like much of a bush, but it does cover his tank. Covers his spots, sort of, I was going to say spots. I don't know if that's what they're called though. Anyway, here goes Horseman onto the flag, and we will need to see Caren Tiger respond soon.
Well, Caren Tiger definitely ready for a response here. Horsemen going to be sitting 2 of their tanks on towards that flag. CT now, they're starting to get spotted out. Mara and Deco, they've been spotted.
Well, Caren Tiger are going to have to go ahead and reset this one. Time for us to have a listen in and see how they go about it.
全員で行くぞ。ちょっと待って、1人で出るなよ。
俺は
ヘルカイこっち来れる。
来れる。
RA の無視、RA 無視。
キャッパ切れるこれ。
切れる。
俺あと10秒。切れないじゃん。
切ってる。アーコンとゴリラ持ってるよ。
オッケー。
RA 無視でいいよ。
俺あれやり。
これやろ。
これ
前出て。あ、バット来てる。ユパ。
あとダーツ。俺あと3。
571。
マウス結構減ってるよ。
抜けない。
俺あと1。いや、
573。俺がすぐこれ。
リロード。
57もう結構打ってる。57結構打ってる。57ロード。
ナイス。
57ロードで今。
バットロード。
57ロードだって。行こう。
ゴリラ。フォーカスゴリラ。
オッケー。
57ロード。
じゃあバット。
It's looking a bit better now for Horseman here, but Caren Tiger coming in with a couple of bat chats. Oh, this could be a crucial kill if Nundesu goes down, which he will. One more shot, and there we go. Good kill from Hellcry. And brings it back to 4 versus 3 actually in the favor of Caren Tiger, as Mordame does also pick up Gorilla. Yupa's in trouble though. Spencer, if he gets behind him, he can definitely pen the back of that mouse.
Not interested.
Oh, he's going in AkioV's direction. That's a good choice, I think, because AkioV should be a very, very easy kill. That's a low roll actually from Archon. Might allow that mouse of Yupa to get another shot off, which is nice for him. In the end, we are going to see Yupa going down. AkioV does get dropped as well, but this is not all said and done just yet. It should be. It should be. But Horsemen have made mistakes in the past.
Yeah, but I don't think
Hellcry can clutch this though.
This big.
Sphinx does not know where he is, and he could kill Sphinx if he...
that was nice.
If Sphinx had taken that duel, then he would have been dead. There's only 2.5 minutes here as well. If he takes down Sphinx and he takes down Spencer, he can just run away from the mouse the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, he just needs to make sure that he, you can't be sacrificing health like that.
No.
Now he's not quite on the reload. Where is Sphinx? That's the key thing, because Sphinx will be off the reload shortly. I'm not sure if that's the right decision for Hellcry to reload here. It probably is. I probably would have done the same in his position, but imagine Sphinx comes out here and spots him out while he's on the reload. Hellcry, I know he probably shouldn't be able to one-shot the bat chat, but yeah, I guess he had to go for the reload because there was a guy on the cap as well, so he's going to need more than just that single shot.
Yeah.
But he needs at least a reset. He doesn't have much time to work with.
I think the issue is that the Horseman are going to put the mouse on the cap as well. That's what I would do if I was a Horseman.
Well, Hellcry needs to move. He should be... I think he probably should have rotated through the 2 flag up the 4 line.
Yeah.
And gone from that direction.
I don't think this is a good rotate.
He would have had time. Yeah, I feel like if he's hanging around here, rotating around this part of the map, that's where you're going to run into one of those Horseman players. And he's been lit as well.
From behind.
He's still got time, though. He still has time. They're going to know where he's coming from now, and that's the problem. 2 tanks on the flag.
Yeah, 2 tanks.
He just needs to reset Spencer, though.
Yep. He needs it soon, but maybe...
and he can reset. He can afford to take a shot from the mouse as long as he gets a reset from
10
Spencer.
seconds left.
He should be able to get a reset.
7. Oh, he spotted him out.
Don't stop, Hellcry. Okay,
Oh,
that's a good
nice.
reset.
Bail,
Sphinx is coming
bail.
behind. Sphinx, he needs to kill Sphinx. He needs to take 2 shots into Sphinx and then run.
Oh, one more.
He can run. No, he can't.
Oh!
Did he miss the shot?
I think he missed it.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know what really happened there, to be honest. Have to look at the replay.
Oh.
It was so clutchable for him. So clutchable. But it was always going to be hard against 3 players.
Yeah, look.
But if he had to clutch that out,
He-
that would have been very,
He
very
gave
nice.
it a good crack, though, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Gave it a good crack. I mean, you can't fault him for that. Oh, well, good try. Horsemen win, though.
Yeah.
3-1.
Better than 4-0, that's for sure.
Better than 4-0, 100%. And, you know, that was Ghost Town defense. Sorry, attack for the Horsemen. So, really winning there. They're not super favoured to win.
Yeah.
Statistically. So, a good win there from the Horsemen. I mean, look, would have been amazing if we'd seen that clutch happen.
If he had killed Sphinx when Sphinx crossed, if he had got another shot into Sphinx, he would have won.
Yep.
Because
He would have just
the
ran.
bat chat and the
Yep.
the IU and the mouse wouldn't have had the DPM to get rid of him. It was only because Sphinx was there.
Yep.
It was close. It was so close. Like, I almost wish that clutch had been a thing.
Because
that would have been
honestly wish it had
one of the best clutches of the season. Probably the best clutch.
It would have been the best clutch of the season, I think. But alas, we can't hope for what didn't happen. Can't dwell on that, and neither can the guys from Caren Tiger.
Replay
Nice as it
time.
would have been.
Let's have a look at this. I want to see if we get the ending replay, try and figure out what happened there, how much damage Hellcry took in the short amount of time. Okay, so he's on 1100. He takes a tracking shot from someone. A good reset from him on the Hellcry. He takes one there. 750. All right, so he...
Oh.
See, he missed. He must have missed a shot onto the bat shot or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he did high roll. He got 397. I don't know if he could have played that any better, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think maybe if he had have kept his momentum up and just gone in for the reset straight, like done a drive-by past the bat chat,
Past the bat chat.
and tried to use the depression of the hills above him.
Yeah, but
It was always going to be tough. I mean, maybe we're eating into it a little bit too much, but maybe we're just a little bit too excited.
But that was the other issue for Caren Tiger there, is that T57 heavy, number 4 on the scoreboard, Nandesu, 3.2k damage, he stayed alive.
Yeah, that was actually something that we probably should have pointed out a little bit earlier, is that, like you said, he stayed alive for so long.
Yep.
Getting out 3 clips and almost pretty much doing as much work as he could.
Yep. That's the danger of the T57 heavy. You let it stay alive, and it will wreck your team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, down the bottom there, that mouse of Nadeko really not doing too much. And, well, Polly, he's been doing okay in these bad chats. Quite decently, I would say.
Yeah, 1700. It's not too bad. Can't really make any complaints about anything there. I mean, I guess Nadeko would have liked more, but he must have gone down very, very quickly to only get 2 shots off as well. So how much more work would he have been able to do? Well, maybe another shot. Another shot might have been the difference, though, depending on who it was into.
It could have been. It
If it
could
was
have been
into
the
Sphinx
difference.
or if it was into
The IU.
Spencer, that could have been game. But look, Horsemen, they do get around on the board. Now they just need to build up on it, because getting 1 is not good enough. They need to be getting 2, 3-3, 4-3, something like that.
Yeah, this could be the time when,
they drop.
you know, like we saw at the start of this season, their first game in week 1, 5-3 to the Horsemen. You know, Caren Tiger with 3-0 up there.
That's true.
And
it was Ghost Town as well, which was sort of like the catalyst of the change. That's where Horsemen started to come back. They 2-0'd on Ghost Town, and then everything kind of just ballooned out from there. Obviously, it was 1-1 this time, but could be maybe a
Could
little bit
very
of
well
history
be it.
repeating itself.
well, history does repeat itself, doesn't it, Jordan? So,
Yeah.
sometimes. But Runeberg next up. We've just played Ghost Town, both halves on that, 3-1. Runeberg, we feel as though this is definitely a Caren Tiger map. You
Yes,
know, like
yes.
they know Runeberg. They were the original players of the mouse on Runeberg before it was cool. You know,
Yeah,
they were the hipsters.
they were hipsters. Yeah.
The hipsters of WGL APAC.
I was driving the mouse before it was cool.
Yeah.
Hashtag on Instagram. But
I was driving the T95 before it was cool on my press account.
I don't actually have a mouse or a T95. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I think Caren Tiger definitely favoured here. Horsemen, it is also a map that they struggle on. They don't play very well on the attack, and they play averagely on defense. Like, they have a 50% win rate on defense, so it's nothing really to write home about. But Caren Tiger, like 70% on both sides of the map, really can't be hoping for much more than that.
No, you can't. I think now it's hard to say which half has become a little bit more tricky now that the mouses have come into effect. I think defense is probably slightly easier now with the mouses.
Yes.
In my eyes,
Yeah.
just because it's harder to actually push your own mouses up to the town to start the fight without taking too much damage.
Yep.
But obviously you can still win attack. You know, it's still a very doable thing. Maybe Caren Tiger, look, they had a great strategy there on Ghost Town, which we hadn't seen before. Maybe they've got another good strat here on Ruinberg.
Yeah.
That busted out, cause they didn't play it against Wargaming.
No, they did not. And 55% average defensive side win rate for Ruinberg across the whole season of like every team. So it's sort of like 45% attack, 55% defense. That has changed though since the patch. Before the patch came out, before the mouse patch came, it was actually attacking side favored. So I think the swing, right, is like, to me, it feels even more, a little bit more defensive sided now. So I'd say sort of 60-40 as opposed to 55-45. Just I suppose the stats from earlier on this season are kind of diluting the defensive win stats that have come out since that patch. So the more time we play on this patch, the longer we go, the more I think that defensive stat is going to rise for Ruinberg, because it is starting to equalize to where its true stat is. But definitely still favouring the defensive side here. Is Horseman going to have enough on the defensive side, though? Up against Caren Tiger, who are very, very well versed on Ruinberg. It's a tough ask from them, I think.
Yeah, it is, no doubt about it. I mean, Ruinberg, it's never an easy map to win, right? Particularly if the enemy team knows how to play it. You know, you've got to really be on the ball. And for Caren Tiger here to win, let's say the hardest half attack on Ruinberg, they can't just pick two mouses and push them onto the two flag and expect to win. They need to actually think of something. You know, do they push a few mouses through the town or something through the town? You know, do they got any bat chats? They got a 113 maybe, ISs? There's so much to think about here for Caren Tiger if you're on the attack. And on the defense, I think things are a little bit more simple.
Yep.
You know, it is a little bit more of the kind of rainbows and fairies land.
Plop yourself down in a position, watch your line, wait for mouse, shoot mouse.
Pretty
That's
much.
essentially how it goes. But yeah, a lot of questions to be asked for the attacking side. Like, do they try and push very, very quickly down the middle road, take control of the town above the two flag with maybe a couple of tier 9 Batchat APs or other fast tanks like that? Object 432s are something that we've seen occasionally on Ruinberg as well. Or do they go to the one flag? Sometimes I feel like now in this meta, the one flag may be a little bit easier to crack than the two flag, because you don't take as much damage on your way
Getting
up
out
to
there.
the one
Yeah,
flag.
but that's the issue, of course, is that once you're on that one flag, it becomes so easy to brawl against you, because you're essentially out in the open.
You need to take control of that town on the A line.
That's it.
And that's sometimes a problem. If you've got a couple of 50Bs watching that cross, bye-bye bat chats.
Well, I think it's time to find out whether we will have a couple of 50Bs watching that cross as we jump into the tank picks here for the first half.
Well, let's find out. FE215B for Horsemen makes sense. Hokyao does like to play that tank. T54 lightweight, couple of bat chats as well. Caren Tiger, they do have an E3. That'll probably be in the middle road, one would think.
Yeah, I like the E3 on the attack here from Caren Tiger. That's nice, as long as it doesn't get flanked by the Horsemen. You know, knowing Sphinx, he'll probably just YOLO flank it. T54 lightweight. I actually like the T54 lightweight. Very speedy little tank. It does have a pretty positive win rate this season, even though it hasn't been picked that often. I think it's sitting on something like a 55 or so. Yeah, 55% win rate, which after 20 games can't really sneeze. It is a tank that Wargaming picks a bit, but still not bad.
All right. Let's find out what Caren Tiger's going to decide to do. Pushing the bat chats down the K line, pretty much standard. Really not too surprising. Upa as well in the middle road, basically where we would have expected to see an E3 setup. So Caren Tiger here, they're just going to get those mouses on the 2 flag, let Upa do his work in the E3. Sphinx. Ooh, not sure how I feel about this. Because if he gets spotted, he goes down.
Well, I think the theory is that he doesn't get spotted. Oh, there's Huper. If he fires, he gets spotted. So, yeah. But you know, Sphinx, he's not going to be able to really do much to Yupa there in a clip.
No way. Like when you shoot frontally at an E3 in a bat chat, well, it's not that favorable. Unless you're quite close, you can really hit those weak spots. That's when it becomes a little bit easier, but
Viable, yeah.
not from that distance. Oh, Yupa's taking so much damage though. This is not a good start for Caren Tiger at all. Where is he taking all that damage from?
I was just wondering that, like, where is that coming from? You know, is it the 113? Is it the mouse? I don't know.
Well, he's under pressure now. He's going to need some backup, and AkioV maybe not really in a position to help him at this point because he'll be lit up by those tanks in the town. If he pushes in here, Mordame in a 54 lightweight, realistically, what's he going to expect to do against Mouses frontally?
Bit of HE going into Yupa as well, and look, one more shot from that mouse on the side of him, and he's going down. Or just Hokia, so that's a big tank lost very early on there for Caren Tiger, and the Horsemen got to be happy with that pickup because not only have they killed that tank, they've also denied that map control of that central street here from Caren Tiger.
Oh, but look at this from Caren Tiger. This may not be the worst of situations, although Polly's decided to continue up towards the one flag. I thought the Batchats were going to come in there and try and take down the Mouses fighting in the middle of the battle here, but Nundesu's been isolated as well, so that's good enough for Caren Tiger at this point. If they can take him down, that's a good win for them, but they need to win this brawl in the middle as well, and there's a lot more Horseman tanks over in this middle road or in a position to fire into this middle road than what there is for Caren Tiger, and you have to feel as though this is a losing battle for CT.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zenlon there, he's just about down. Look, Hokia does actually go down as well, so technically CT do have the tank advantage right now, but look at that, AkioV so low, and Archon easily able to take him out. Issue is, there's still well enough damage on the Horseman side left to take down these remaining members of Caren Tiger.
Yep. Caren Tiger needed some more backup for Yupa there, and this would have all been avoided, but who could they really sacrifice to have sitting in that middle road with him? Maybe the 113, I think. AkioV, like, even though he's probably got a lot of damage out from the position that he was in, I don't know if it was necessarily hugely impactful. If they had have kept that E3 alive, they could have got something more done. Polly, looks like he's been caught out. He'll probably go down. There we go. Spencer picking him up. Hellcry with only one shot left in his clip. Mordame won't survive much longer. That's game over. Caren Tiger lose the attacking side as well, but that's not a huge surprise. They are on the more difficult side. I think when they move over to a defense, we should see this one closed out. 1-1.
I'd say so. It was... Look, it's situations like that where I think the E3, I would almost prefer a T95 in it, or two T95s or something in place of that E3 there. I mean...
Yeah, but and then you sacrifice a mouse or a bat chat. I don't think you can sacrifice any of the tier 10s in this lineup. Maybe the 113. I'm not hugely sold on the 113 here.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. Look, at the end of the day, that's going to be a win there for the Horsemen in this first half. Ruinberg quite easily as Hellcry goes down. So, Horsemen with that win, going to be feeling pretty happy about themselves. They're on a bit of a streak now. Won that half on Ghost Town and won that half there on Ruinberg. Now it's 3-2.
Yeah, it's 3-2. It's getting closer, but it could very, very quickly balloon out to 4-2, which is a little bit more of a deficit to come back from for Horsemen. So I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself and say I think Horsemen's back in this one. They're going to come away with a win or something like that. They have looked okay, but Caren Tiger's still definitely in it. There was some obvious mistakes really from Caren Tiger there. Yupa going down so easily. They needed to do something about that. You can't allow a tier 10 tent like that to get isolated, and you know you needed something else. Maybe the Batchats just stay back in the town or rotate a little bit quicker into the town after they've gone for that initial run up down the K line, just to give him some backup. Because when like 3 Mouses can push onto your tank, that means that you know you're quite far out of position because it's not like they come in like a Batchat and it's like bang, tank's dead. It's like bang 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 bang, and then maybe your tank's dead because the mouse is slow, doesn't have much burst. So it was a lot of time for Caren Tiger to sort of rotate across, get some tanks in position to help out Yupa. Didn't quite happen.
Yeah, I think they were banking a little bit too much on Horsemen not going on, not going aggressive onto Uber there.
Yep.
Which look, maybe that would have worked a little bit better, but alas, didn't.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, big loss for Caren Tiger, that one. Losing Uber, basically spiraled the game out of their control. The Bad Chats did some work, but maybe not enough. Hellcry again up the top there for Caren Tiger, but what I really want to see is where Uber ended up. I think he only got 1 shot of damage off in the E3, maybe 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh well. Okay, there we are. Akio V, 1755 damage. Not too bad for Mr. Akio V. What else? Hokiao in that FV215B. I mean, again, he's made that work with 2.9 thousand damage.
Yeah.
OBOV, 3k in the mouse. So some pretty respectable damage numbers across the board there for the Horsemen. And down the bottom of the scoreboard, I'm sure we'll see, yep, lots of Caren Tiger.
Okay, you got 2 shots off. 2 shots. Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
He fired 3, connected with 2. The first one we saw just went into the dirt. Not really sure where he was firing with that one, but 2 shots off.
Look at Mudame.
Not good.
T54 lightweight, 1700 damage. He gave it a crack.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're sort of not being focused. You know, you can get a bit of damage out in a tier 8 tank, but
yeah,
1700 damage, it's not that much, really. When you got guys on Horsemen who are sitting around 3k,
yeah,
majority of them.
No, it's really not that much at all, is it? So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's not quite enough for the Horsemen to, or for Caren Tiger to pull through with the win there against the Horsemen. 3-2 though, still with a lead. I mean, we still have lots of maps to go. Of course, it is first to 7 in this best of 13 series.
We haven't even seen Opalisk tonight at all, because we've been on Himmelsdorf, Ghost Town, now we're on Ruenberg. Maybe we'll see on Ruenberg defense. It's something that Caren Tiger has been running, but he, to me, is sort of like their pocket pick. They bring him in, he puts out a lot of work, and really is such an impactful player. When you get on Prokhorov, when we get on Steps, when we get on Muravanka, which are the next 3 maps in the pool, is he going to be enough here for Caren Tiger to just close it out?
Maybe. He might be. He might be
is
the
he
X
that
factor.
impact that we
He
need,
might
the X
be
factor?
the kryptonite.
Yeah.
But
that is a real question for Caren Tiger when they do go through the finals.
Exactly.
Like, do they have Opalisk in their lineup even on maps which they might not be playing?
Yeah. Do they? Yeah. Do they bring Opalisk or not?
Like, do they take Opalisk as their core 7?
Yeah.
Because you can't swap them around when they're on stage. There's 7.
Yeah.
You can't just go in and out depending on the round like you can online.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would probably put him in the lineup.
I would put him in the lineup.
Be the tier 8 tank.
He's absolutely, because look,
he played it last season as well.
He's a good tanker. He understands the game, and that's what you need to do to play those tier 8 tanks. And you know, being an RD player, it is all about spotting. It is all about knowing. You know, he's got so many blind fire shots before. We've seen him get blind fire shots in towards tier 8 tanks hiding in bushes, so he knows where people should be and where they're generally expected to be. So I think if I was Caren Tiger, 100% I'd put Opalisk in there.
Well, they haven't put him in here. Well, maybe they have, but doesn't seem as though they would have. He would probably be in an artillery if they had. 113's across the board, though, for Caren Tiger. How's that going to match up against Horsemen? Not a single mouse.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm not convinced about that, to be honest. Yeah. All of those 113s, like, I mean, on the defense as well, like, are they going to push with them maybe? Like, if they're pushing, then that makes sense because the mobility of the 113s. But if they're just going to sit in the town, like, there's no point in having all those 113s. You may as well have some different tanks. You may as well have some heavier tanks like the Maus as a Type 5 or just... Yeah, not convinced here from Caren Tiger, but this is a favoured side for them. This is a favoured map for them. Maybe they know a little bit more than I do.
Maybe they do. Let's find out and see what they do. Or Spencer maybe in a difficult position here. I think Polly... Oh no, never mind. I thought Polly shot Nadeko in the back there, but it must have been a shot from Spencer in the back chat AP. Akio V watching the angle for Gorilla as well. Oh, he's getting some good shots in as well. Caren Tiger, it seems as though they are winning the trades at this point, though. As I say that, they start to lose them, and as I say that, they start to win them again. So it's kind of just backwards and forwards at this point. Can't really tell who's taking the advantage.
It's backwards and forwards at this point, but soon the Horsemen are going to be on the reload with all of their bat chats, and they've only really taken down AKOV so far. Polly's looking quite low. Maybe they'll get him down as well. I feel as though they really need to, because now that damage is going to start dropping off for the Horsemen.
This is really good for Horsemen. They might look like they were going to win here on the attacking side. Let's jump in on the comms with them and see how they're feeling.
你们有弹的去近身，近身找113。
啊，这两个都锤死！我打完我出来啊，我打完都出来了。
后面还有一台是谁？快一点！
把上面那两个锤死！
漂亮。
那个 U 法开弹没有？
开来了。
他是朝哪边的？
朝我，朝我。
红草，红草，红草。
有人打 U 包，都开了啊。
开了。
对。哎呦，他妈这把没开出来，我操！
哇！42滴，有没有可以说？
红草还有吗？红草还有吗？
I think Archon may have just low-rolled that last shot.
Yeah.
That's why you hear that cry of frustration perhaps from him. Should still be okay. OBOV will be able to clean up this kill onto Yupa. No problems. There we go. He's taking a bit of damage though.
Yeah,
but still, it's not winnable for Horsemen here, I don't think. Caren Tiger have got this wrapped up.
Yep, there we go. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
It was looking dangerous for Caren Tiger at the start.
It was.
But once those bat chats were on the reload for Horsemen, Caren Tiger, that's when they strike. 113s, they just keep pumping out the damage. They're able to catch up.
Oh, Zenlon here. If we get, I thought it was going to go big, but no. Moname and Maro ruin the fun there for Archon in his bat chat. It was interesting. Look, I wasn't convinced with those 113s there. I thought we were going to see a much more one-sided fight, but at the end of the day, I think that after those bat chats had come in, they didn't actually take down that many tanks. They took down AKOV. That was it in their first initial burst. So that was all of those bat chats reloading, 4 or so bat chats on the reload when all of those Caren Tiger tanks, all of those 113s, they were still just pumping out the damage. And that was a big issue for them, I felt, on the Horsemen. They were just able to clean the rest of those bat chats up and win the ensuing fight.
Exactly. And, well, you have to question, maybe would a couple of extra mouses been useful there for Horsemen? Maybe just one as opposed to an extra bat chat?
Yeah.
Could have been the case.
Even I mean, if I was the Horseman there, you know what I really would have actually liked? I really would have liked something like a T62A or a object, probably even an object 430 in my eyes. Look, a 140 wouldn't have been bad either, but I'm a bit of a fan of the 430 and the mouse meta.
All right, well,
you know,
maybe something to consider for them. Let's have a look and see though. Maro, IS-4 doing a lot of damage, and it is a tank that you can put decent damage out in. It's not like a hugely accurate gun, like not an amazing gun really, but when you're close, when you're brawling, you're a big threat. And Yupa as well having a good one in that round. A lot of those Horseman tanks there, but I think there was a bit more HP on Caren Tiger than there was on Horseman to chew through. So, not too surprising to see them up the top.
Yep. So, down the bottom there as well, Zenlon in the RE251 managed to deal a fair bit of damage in that one with 1600. AKOV 113, 1400. Gorilla 1200 with their bat chat AP. Nandesu in the mouse 1k. Bat chat AP. Spencer 900. You know, not too bad, but at the end of the day, the bat chat APs, I still very much I'm a bit of a anti APer.
Yeah, you're a hater.
I'm a AP hater. I'm a bat chat AP hater. It's no secret, Jordan. I don't like it at all. It just doesn't deal damage quickly enough to justify being an auto loader. If you're going to pick a tier 9, I would much rather pick a tier 9 non-auto loader. than the batch at AP. You know, like an Object 432, I believe, or like T54. You know, I like it better than the batch at AP.
Batch at AP is a fun tank to play. I'll give it that much. I do have one myself. I like playing it, but considering now Prokhorovka is the next map, we're going to head over to Obelisk. Is that key factor? Is that
Give me
X
the
factor
Obelisk.
going to be
Give me the Obelisk.
brought into the lineup here?
I certainly hope so. I think, like, for anyone out there that plays a little bit of artillery and hasn't seen Obelisk play yet, seriously, get ready.
It just feels like he doesn't
Get the
miss.
Twitch clips ready. He does not miss. Every single shot that Obelisk fires, I actually think it would be mathematically impossible to fire a better shot. You know, if World of Tanks, if Wargaming designed like an artillery bot and they increased its difficulty to 1 billion, then it would fire the exact same shots that Obelisk does, because he's just so on point with that arty.
He is very, very on point with it. It's kind of crazy. He has a lot of impact, that's for sure. But let's not get too far on the Obelisk hype train, just in case he's not here. There's also a lot of good players on the side of Horsemen. Maybe Spencer picks up the arty. We've seen him do it before.
Yeah,
possible.
we have. He can pick up the arty. It's always tricky though, right? Because we talk about Obelisk, and it's hard to talk about Spencer in the same sentence. So not
is.
because Spencer's bad, right? I think Spencer's artillery play is roughly on the same kind of level as most other arty players here in WGL APAC. You know,
Yeah.
he's quite decent at it.
Yep.
But then there's Obelisk, you know, who is a game changer.
Yeah.
So.
It's like it's weird because to me, Obelisk is the only one that really has that kind of an impact in an artillery.
Yep.
And you'll
100%.
see Fox TS, an excellent player for EL
He's
Gaming,
great.
but
He's
he doesn't have that impact in the arty. You
No.
see Spencer doesn't have the impact in the arty. Batkong
Yep.
doesn't, like, he's the other one that really picks the arty, but doesn't have the impact. Like, who else really picks arty? I suppose Skell doesn't really have the impact of Obelisk either.
No,
Like, all
he
those
doesn't.
guys you could group together, and then in my eyes, Obelisk sits one rung above, always having a lot more impact than even a lot of the tanks on his
Yep.
team, the tier 10 tanks, when he's in a tier 8 artillery. Let's see if he's going to be coming into this one here. Definitely on Prokhorovka, it is a map that you can pick
You've
the
got to
arty.
think so.
You have to think it would be. But we shall see. My eyes, though, one apiece. Prokhorovka.
One apiece.
Mm.
I'm going to be going 2-0.
2.
Caren Tiger.
Oh, let's find out. There is the arty.
Here's the arty. I think it's Obelisk o'clock
boy.
here for the WGL APAC playoffs between
And-
Caren Tiger and Horsemen.
There's a lot of bad chats on the side of Horsemen. So
Oh yeah, bad chat.
juicy targets for the Lorraine. If he
Now,
can hit him.
I think the FV 215B is actually quite a
A juicy target as well.
nice little target for it.
Hit him in the front, set him on fire. That's
Oh.
the dream.
Yeah, that's what you want.
FE215B, somewhat prone to getting set on fire every now and then.
Yeah, well I know because I've got the variant of it with the 183mm gun. And yes, it does get set on fire a lot. I use an auto fire extinguisher.
Yep.
There's no need to.
Maybe not in the WGL APAC though. A lot of the players, they don't run the fire extinguisher. They take the food instead. Honestly, I'd probably...
I'd go food fire extinguisher rep kit. On
Yeah,
the
that's what I was going to
215B.
say.
You know, I just think you need it because, like, it's like, do you want a fire to instantly lose you the game, or do you want to deal maybe slightly less damage because you can't repair a loader?
Yeah.
And yep, there we go. That's what Gorilla is going to be going with in that FV215B.
We do see sometimes though, they do take the medkit as well. I think Valiant might be the one that takes the medkit in his FV215B, but have a look at this. Spencer's in real trouble. Uper and Hellcry have spotted him out, but looks like he's gotten away okay. Oh, as long as he doesn't fall down. There we go. Gorilla's taken a bit of damage to his ammo rack.
I wonder if that's from old mate Obelisk.
Hopeless.
I
Could
wonder.
well be. Could well be. It's been repaired, but now Gorilla's really under a lot of pressure. Must be some shots coming in from the hill. Or Akio V would have got a shot in there as well. Spencer's dead because he's on the other side of the map. And
Yeah. Arty Cam on to Obelisk is zeroing in. This is going to hit. Watch this. Okay.
How embarrassing, Alex.
That's very embarrassing. I'm just not going to speak from now on.
Oh, that's going to make my job even more difficult because I'll have to talk twice as much. And I'm not nearly as good at talking rubbish as you are. Like, you just sit here and
Well,
talk
look, you
about...
baited me. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Well, finally, we're seeing a bit of damage returned onto Nadeko there.
Oh, that one hit.
Oh, blind fire shot.
Imagine if you had a one-shot at him.
Oh,
God.
my goodness.
Then that would have really just reinforced what we've been saying
Yeah,
about him.
yeah. It would have kept the narrative going.
Oh, but this is a good situation actually for Horsemen. They, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I didn't
No,
see those
I
tanks
don't.
coming over the rail tracks. I thought maybe if it's just the 113s there, OBOV and Archon could have put a bit of damage in, but Archon cottoned onto it maybe a little quicker than OBOV did. Here we go. Here's another shot. Archon, are you going to get clicked? Here we...
No.
Nope, not that time. Just moving a little bit.
Would have gone for Gorilla there, to be honest. But
Yeah,
that's right.
or OBOV.
Gave it a crack, but there still actually hasn't been that many tanks actually dropped from either side. Gorilla's still one shot away. OBOV's still one shot away.
As you say it. A couple of tanks go down. Nadeko might be under pressure here as well. Archon needs to pen the shot though. There we go. Does get it through. And Polly bouncing a shot off Archon. That can never feel good when you bounce a shot off a bat chat. Does that hit?
Oh, it does.
He's just so good.
He's just so good. Oh, that's brilliant. Archon, though, does go down. OBOV as well. His ammo rack is damaged. Taking so long to reload this tank. And at this stage, Caren Tiger, well, we've got to remember that CT, they don't actually
There
have
we go
full
again.
fighting tanks.
I want to get off Opalisk's wild ride, Alex.
Oh, 453. Opalisk, you are insane.
I reckon, like, there's literally just one observer back there watching Opalisk. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it comes down to. It's like Horseman versus Opalisk right now with Caren Tiger, a few of them backing him up.
Yeah.
Finishing off the targets. He just has that.
Well, and watch this. None of them are spotted. Is Opalisk going to hit the shot where none of them are spotted?
Is he even going to fire though?
Drum roll.
I think he might be. Oh, no, he's not moving.
Nope. No, he's not going to fire. So yeah, they disappeared out of your range for a little
He's
bit
pre-aiming the
longer.
perfect position though.
Oh, look at that.
3 versus 3, but Yupa's full health, and that's the important thing right now.
Yeah.
Like, he is the key player right now. If Opalisk can hit one more shot,
He can. He can.
This is it. Yupa should clean this up pretty easily. Mordame's still pretty healthy as well. And they've spotted out another player, Sphinx. No, it's not. Desu actually getting a lot of damage across, but still, 2 for none. Great trades there for Caren Tiger. Now they just need to not die to Sphinx, who may or may not actually find Opalisk here, but Opalisk, knowing him, he's going to have a barrel right in the direction of Sphinx.
No, Opalisk got one shot. Come on, look at this.
Look at this.
Yep,
oh,
yep.
it's close.
Oh.
Oh, Opalisk! I just don't know what to say. It's like he doesn't miss. Well, he missed a few, but like in reality, like no one else hits that shot.
No one else gets that. No one else has the confidence to stay in artillery mode in that shot. Like if I was playing arty mode, I'll get out of arty mode. I'll be like, oh, I have to TD mode this because he's so close. But Opalisk is just like, no, Zen, I can do this.
It's just like
So,
that's how he plays.
yeah.
Oh, I love a bit of Opalisk.
I love me a bit of Opalisk. I tell you what, John, gets me a bit excited seeing Opalisk.
You like his big barrel, his big French
yes.
barrel?
I love his big French barrel, but anyways.
I think honestly, of all the players in WGL, he's probably my favorite player to watch right now.
Yeah, and particularly right now, exactly.
Like
right now
last
in
season,
this meta.
No, not right now.
Yeah,
but like now, for sure. Like
Yeah,
every match you
100%.
see Opalisk in, it's like you gotta give him credit. You have to give him credit because
Yeah.
no one else does it as good as him. And like he would have been probably 2,500 damage that game, maybe. He did get a big shot onto the bat chat at the end, which would have been about 1,000. So I think 2,500 is kind of a reasonable guesstimate. Obviously, a lot of work done from some of the other players. Yupa did a lot of work towards the end there when he was on full HP or near full HP. Took down a couple of those tanks. So overall, good work from Caren Tiger. But just having that little bit of extra X factor for me is a big deal. And we have to see how this is going to change sort of the mini meta of this series now, because it is such a long series that maybe this will start to develop its own kind of meta, right? Because Horsemen will now think, okay, do we have to counterpick the arty of Opalisk with our own arty, try and counter arty him, otherwise Opalisk is going to wreck our team. And then maybe we see Caren Tiger just say, no, we're not going to take Hardy this time. And they take a brawl, win because Spencer's not going to get as much done.
Interesting.
It's
I think it doesn't matter. You take Hardy. If you're Caren Tiger, you take Opalisk. You play the Hardy. I mean, that's what I would do 10 out of 10 times. And you know, I wonder how much damage Opalisk ended up getting done that game. But whatever it was, like how MVP times.
Oh yeah. Let's have a look at the replays. Okay, the Opalisk highlights reel. This was not good though from Horsemen starting off. Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what Spencer's doing there. He wants to scout the hill. He wants to see what he can do. But, like, if everything goes wrong, there's no one that can help you. So, worst case scenario, what are you going to do?
Look at that. Sphinx is like, oh, yeah, I'll just drive in a straight line against Opalisk. Nah, mate. Bad
Not
move.
a good idea.
Oh, yeah, Opalisk just a
2.5.
casual third
Called it.
place in the Lorraine. Yep, that's fine. As you do. 2.5k damage against Bat Chats. Good stuff. And well, Hokia, he really has been maining that FE215B.
Makes it work.
He does make it work. I don't think the two work there. I think Hokia can make it work. I don't think if you're not Hokia, it works.
Valiant also a very, very keen FE215B player. Probably not to the same level of Hokia though.
No, I wouldn't say so.
I think Hokia has more of an impact on it. But maybe Valiant has things that make things better for Meltdown in other areas. Like, I think he might actually be their caller. At least that's what I hear on the grapevine. Doesn't matter now though, because they're out. Horsemen and Caren Tiger are through to the final. But at the moment, maybe Caren Tiger's having a better job of it because 5 and 2 up. This is getting close. This is getting within striking distance. And given how convincing that looked for Caren Tiger as well, on Prokhorovka, on the side which they're generally not quite as strong on, they're generally a little bit better on the attack, this is looking like a dangerous scoreline for Horsemen as well. Like, what are you going to do? They're going to pick Opalisk again.
They're going to pick Opalisk again.
So do they take
They're going to get him into another Artie. They're going to put him in that little lake, you know.
Do they take a counter Artie?
No. Because you can't, you actually physically can't, pretty much can't counter-arty someone who's as good as Opalisk. Because after every single shot, the split second after he fires, he will move. And it's a factor of travel time. Like Opalisk in the Lorraine will move for, after he's fired, even if you fire, like 0.3 of a second after you see him fire, which is, you know, let's say reaction time. Right?
He's got 2 seconds or so.
Exactly. 1, 2, and he's already moved out of your optimal shell trajectory in that case. So it's not like counter-arting isn't a counter to it. He would love you to pick an arty because you'll probably try and counter-arty him, and you'll either do absolutely nothing because he'll try and be counter-artying you, or you know you'll fire and he'll just be like, okay, there you are. Pew!
Yeah. But in saying that, if Horsemen have been watching what Caren Tiger do, they will have a good indication as to where Opalisk is going to be starting. Assuming we see Caren Tiger with a fairly similar setup, which we probably will. I don't think they're going to be changing things up too much. Like, this is just a seeding game, right? If they're going to bring anything new, it won't be in this game. It will be at the finals.
You're right. Interesting. Maybe, yeah, they probably don't want to try anything out here. And kind of show EL Gaming or Team Efficiency, who are no doubt going to be watching this one.
For sure.
Shout out to the EL Gaming and TE guys. I'm sure we may have a few of them in chat tonight. TE guys particularly like to join us.
Yeah, I think the only one that watches the English stream for EL Gaming may be Fox DS.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see whether or not they're going to be having a good time at the final. I suspect they will be. My eyes, I'd say Team Efficiency EL Gaming final, but depends how this one turns out. If Caren Tiger face Team Efficiency, they do generally have good matchups against Team Efficiency, and they might have enough. They might have enough to beat Team Efficiency, I think.
Opalisk with Opalisk, I mean.
But do they run Opalisk? That's the thing. Like, you have to lock it in.
You've got to run Opalisk. Like, you've got to, because he's the X factor. You know, he's like the best in his class in WGL APAC, and you know, one of the best in his class in the world.
I was actually talking to JT from Team Efficiency about like what my APAC dream team would be. And I had Opalus because he wasn't in my starting 7, but he was my flex Arty player. So I think that would be pretty much the same for most people. I had like Fox TS Hardliner starting. I think I had Moore starting as my in-game leader. Yupa was starting. Maro was starting. What else did we have? Yusa Shampara, I think, was my TD flex. Because I think he's only really very good in the tank destroyers. Like, I don't think he has that much of impact in anything else.
Interesting. Interesting. I would just pick most of TE.
Anyway.
Honestly. I would actually sub out more, to be honest.
No way.
Yeah.
For who?
I don't know. Opalisk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, get him in the tier 10.
Alright.
Not going to be in the tier 10 though this time, as Horsemen, they've got 2 FV215Bs, RU251, and some Bat Chats. Caren Tiger though, Opalisk once again, then Bat Chats, then 2-1-13. So quite a fast mobile lineup here from Caren Tiger. They're really going to be, you know, pushing into the Horsemen, ideally before the Horsemen know what's hit them.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Are they going to push into them? Because they have Opalisk, right? So they want to slow this game down. Here we go. 1. Oh, well.
Oh, it hit.
It technically hit, but might as well not have.
Damage to track a bit.
Oh.
Makes it easier to track.
Quantify that in terms of damage dealt. How much damage is a damage track worth?
Probably
in
about
health?
50.
Well, Sphinx and Spencer pushing up. They're going to get a lot of information off this. They know that Caren Tiger is going to be over on the 1-2 line now. Oh.
How do you hit that? Did you see how big that crosshair was? Oh my goodness.
I did not.
Oh my goodness. That was dirty. So yeah, right now, it's definitely working out for them. OBOV though.
This may not be the worst of decisions, honestly.
I like this.
Because Horsemen, they don't want to have a slow game here. They want it to be fast. Another shot going to come out from Opalus, probably going to hit Gorilla. Not quite that time, but he's going to have to move now because he's spotted, Mordame's spotted, and there's a bunch of Horsemen headed in the direction of Caren Tiger right now. But look, a very, very fast rotation back down this 1-2 line from Caren Tiger. They want to take this brawl. Maybe they don't want to necessarily take the brawl, but they have to take the brawl. They have to have all their players in there. Spencer, who's he going to try and focus down? He's trying to take Opalus, but he won't get the kill. Opalus now in dire straits because he's a one-shot. He is going to go down. You have to question, though, is it worth it here for Horsemen? Because they've put themselves in position to take a lot of damage from Caren Tiger. Polly, though, does go down. Not sure where that was from, but he was full HP.
Yeah, wow.
And now Hellcry trades one back. He doesn't have enough damage to deal with OBOV. And this is a very, very crazy fight. There's a lot of kills going across at the moment, though, favoring Caren Tiger. They have the health advantage. They have the tank advantage. And Horsemen, they've tried to force the fight because of the fact that the Arty threat was there.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't worked out for them.
It's not gone well. It's not gone well at all for the Horsemen, and just like that, now there's only 2 FV215Bs left. These aren't going to be doing anything against the remaining 5 players from Caren Tiger. So, look, at the end of the day, you can take Opalus down first, but he just laughs at you from the grave.
Yeah.
He's just having a chuckle.
Mate,
You got me, guys, but at what cost?
You won the battle, but I won the war.
Yeah. You can never truly beat the Opalisk.
No, you can't. Horsemen, they drop another one. Caren Tiger now sitting on 6. Only 2 for Horsemen, so there was a glimmer of hope there for Horsemen. The second round of Ghost Town, the first round of Ruinberg. But ever since then, Caren Tiger have struck straight back 3 in a row, lost 2, 3 in a row again. Do they lose 2 and then win 1? Or do they just close it out here on steps?
Ooh, I'm thinking it's going to be a closeout here on steps. Like, I wouldn't have said that Caren Tiger can close it out here on steps, but for the fact that A, they can use Opalus, and B, Horsemen didn't look too strong on steps against B Gaming there. They didn't look amazing, you know.
No.
They lost 1/2 against B Gaming. So, realistically speaking, I'm thinking it will be a 7-2 if we see Caren Tiger start on, I was going to say maybe the attack, but maybe the defense. I don't know.
Look, honestly, I did say before this started, if we do get to steps in Muravanka, it is going to be favourable for Horsemen to come back from a deficit. So it's still possible in my eyes, but I think it's going to be tough, right? You got to think, like, on Steps and Moravanka, Caren Tiger can surely get at least 1 out of 4 of those rounds and close it out in regulation time. To me, I'm feeling that Caren Tiger is going to win this one here fairly comfortably. But we're going to have to find out. Having a look at the replays first. Look at this, Spencer.
Look at this.
Straight on to Opalisk. Admittedly, like, who else was he really going to shoot there?
Yeah, so they took him down. They took Opalisk down, and like realistically speaking, I mean, you do want to take an arty down in a situation like that, so he can't deal 1,000 damage to you. So I suppose it's okay, and I suppose Opalisk or not, it's still probably the best move. But yeah, only the FV2 15Bs up the top there for the Horsemen, and Mudame there, 3k damage in that bad chat. Mudame is doing really well tonight. Akio V, Nadeko and those 113s. Hellcry and Yupa in the bat chats again. Just really, really smart play from Caren Tiger. You know, they kind of pushed up semi-fast. They didn't push up too far, so they never were in a position where they would have just let Opalisk die. They were able to rotate back very, very quickly.
Spencer down the bottom, but can't really fault him. Tier 8 tank. Sphinx, yeah, needs to get more done.
Yeah, Sphinx
Like, he probably got focused down, admittedly, but he just need to get more done. I mean, all of those bat chats, really, from Horsemen need to get more work done.
Yep.
Your top damage dealer in a bat chat, 941. Don't know about that, eh?
You need to hit more shots than that. It's as simple as that. Archon only hitting 2, not getting great rolls on them either.
Nope.
Yeah. Really does need to be better than that for the Horsemen, and well, they've only got one chance to make it better than that, really.
Yeah. They have to take it, though. They have to take it 4 times in a row, and then in the tiebreaker. So technically, I suppose 5 times in a row if they want to come away with a victory.
Effectively, they have to 5-0 Caren Tiger right now.
Yeah, and they have not done that yet. They've gone 5-3 and 5-2, the 2 times that they beat Caren Tiger, week 1, week 6. They did lose to Caren Tiger as well during the regular season, 5-1 in week 3. So overall, it's not looking like a favourable sort of a situation if we think about how history is going to dictate how this game is going to go. And not the form that Caren Tiger's looking like they're in right now.
Yeah, Caren Tiger, they're looking good tonight. There's no doubt about it. You know, Horsemen looked pretty good against B Gaming. You know, they did a 7-2. We were expecting a 7-1. But here on, you know, Steps, it's a map that we thought Horsemen were going to be really, really good at. They did play the defense quite well in their game against B Gaming. Their attack was a little bit shakier. You know, that forced 1 flag push, it didn't really work out. But look, I just want to see some more Opalisk play right now. I could sit back, kick my legs up, Jordan, and just watch Opalisk play for another hour.
We'll see if you're going to get that, though, because this could be 10 minutes, and then we're done.
Could be.
So I don't know if you're necessarily going to get an hour, but definitely if we do go through to the tiebreaker, probably be here for longer than an hour.
Yeah.
Might see Opalisk for the rest of tonight, like Steps, Muro are the next 2 maps, and then Prokhorovka, again, is the tiebreaker map. So could be. But I think we talked enough about Opalisk. Maybe we'll talk about it again when we get onto Steps, see if he's playing in that artillery piece. But aside from that, Horsemen, like, they just need to think about something. They need to figure out what they can do here on Steps. Like, if they maybe start off on the defensive side, do they just stack Mousers like what we saw Meltdown doing last week against Team Efficiency, I think it was. Maybe not Team Efficiency, but whoever it was against. Just stack Mousers on the defensive side. It just seems like no one can really dislodge them.
That was pretty nice. That was pretty nice.
You have a few over the top of the rail tracks, a few down by the 2 flag.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what do we do, right? We've got bat chats, we've got maybe 140s, 121s, we've got 113s. How do we push into this hold of the Mousers and survive? Because we're going to just run into a big chunk of health,
1 billion HP, a billion
bunch of armor, good DPM, excellent DPM really, and a massive crossfire. It's like, how do you break that?
And very high alpha.
Even with an artillery. You know, you're not going to be doing that much damage to a mouse.
No.
So it is a hard question to ask. And so far, I think the most of the times that we've seen, or if not all the times that we've seen the mouse on the defensive steps, like a big stack of mouses, not just like 1, but like say 2, 3, maybe 4, I don't think it's been defeated yet.
Yeah. I'm not sure that it has either. So, look, That could be an issue for Caren Tiger, but if Caren Tiger started on the defense, I'm definitely feeling very, very favourable towards them to pick this one up 7-2. So we could very well be seeing 2 7-2s tonight.
Yeah.
If it gets that far ahead.
Horsemen is definitely a little bit stronger on the defense than they are on the attack. So hard to say though, because like on steps, Caren Tiger hasn't necessarily had the greatest of results in the past.
It's not a brilliant map.
It's not a brilliant map for them, exactly. So that's, I think, why we see it so far down the pool here. It's not one of the go-to maps for either of these teams. They would have wanted to get their better maps up towards the top, but we'll have to find out how it works. I mean, we have seen good wins from Caren Tiger on this map, particularly against Team Efficiency, the old shield strategy. That sort of throws it back to me. Like, that was a very, very good strategy from them. I don't know if it would work again against a team, because teams would have figured out, okay, what would we do if we were in that situation, having to take out the IS-7? But because of the fact that Team Efficiency had never seen that before, they didn't really know what to do. They couldn't get rid of the IS-7. They sort of sacrificed too many tanks trying to do it. Maybe Caren Tiger has something else like that up their sleeve.
Maybe. I don't really think they'll need to, though, with the way that they've been playing. If they get Oplisk again in the Arty.
But if they get Oplisk in the Arty, who are they going to put on the boost? If they go on the boost.
I was thinking more on the attack, but yeah.
Right, on the attack. But defense? Would you take Oplisk in the Arty?
I don't really like a defensive Arty on steps, just because there's nowhere really to put it, unless you're putting all of your tanks on the defensive side of the railway, and then you can put your Arty somewhere around there as well, or maybe you can put your Arty down the little gully near the spawn, as long as all of your tanks again are kind of, you know, spread around defending it. I'm not a massive fan of Arty on the defense. On the attack, love it, absolutely, can work really well. I think Oblisk can make a massive impact, you know, because you just spot out the mouses if Horsemen go with that, and he can just keep on pepper. But yeah, defense probably not. But look, I guess we will see what they pick once we get into the map.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be a lot of bat chats, and even that I feel maybe sort of favours Caren Tiger just a little bit. I think their bat chat players have been on point a lot more than Horsemen's tonight. Hellcry, Yupa, Polly, they've been really stepping up tonight. Archon, Sphinx don't seem to be having the greatest of nights. Who else plays a bat chat for Horsemen? Well, a lot of them, really. Pretty much all of them do play bat chats every now and then. But look, I think Caren Tiger have had a better time in the bat chats tonight than what Horsemen have, and that's a big deal on steps, because the majority of your lineup is going to be compromised of bat chats.
Yeah. So look, overall, here's one way to find out whether Caren Tiger will be able to out-bat chat Horsemen, or whether the Horsemen will just, you know, build a steel wall and not let Caren Tiger go through. And that is by seeing them play. Guys, let us know what you think is going to happen here, but we're going to jump in very, very, very shortly into this map. Steps, of course, a nice wide open map, lots of long corridors of fire. Very, very nice for sniping, high accuracy tanks as well. Alternately, like we could be seeing, bat chats and Mausers.
Yeah. Mausers are not hugely inaccurate. Bat chat's also not hugely inaccurate, but also definitely not a sniping tank. But look, let's find out what we are going to be seeing. And it's an RU-251 for Caren Tiger on the attack, so no artillery this time.
Okay.
Horsemen, 2 Maus.
So it's not the mouse wall?
It's not, but it's still 2 Mauses.
Honestly, with this Caren Tiger setup, I wonder if they would even maybe consider pushing the 2 flag in like a fast 2 flag. You know? I think.
But then you have a mouse on the other side of the train tracks. Oh no, you mean the two flag. 2 flag's the one on the valley, isn't it? So, depends. Depends if we see the boost coming out more from Horsemen. They have a 1390 though, so that's probably more likely over to the 1 flag than the 2 flag. Which, yeah, I mean, Caren Tiger, I don't think pushing the 2 flag would necessarily be the worst of ideas. Though we do see Horsemen, it looks like they're going for the boost with the bat chat in A8. Just nudging a bat chat up there. So it's not a solo climb. You do need a buddy to give you a push in the butt.
Yep.
Boost you up.
Right now, Horsemen, very defensive setup there. Caren Tiger not going to be going for that 2-flag push. Instead, Zenlon here in this RU251 just going to be feeling things out near that 1 flag, maybe getting on towards it fairly soon. Here we go, the boost coming in. Not a very big run-up from Nandesu either, so he definitely is going to need a tap.
Not about the run-up. Like, you wouldn't be able to solo this with the... Oh, that's not very good.
Yeah,
they need to be closer together when they're driving, so that Archon can boost him straight away. But, yeah, like, it's not about the run-up for the bat chat, it's about that boost, because even with the full run-up, like, you're not going to get the speed that you need anyway. This allows a lot of time for Caren Tiger to set up. They're pretty much how they want to be. AKOV's got control of the northern end of the rail tracks. Yupa's forward in his 113. Nandesu finally up on the boost. But I think he was up here once before and he actually fell off. So maybe he doesn't even get up. We'll see.
Don't think that's how you get. Oh, no.
It's all about the wiggle. It's not easy. Oh, that looked a bit risky. But Caren Tiger have got themselves onto the 1 flag. And so Horsemen need to respond.
Yeah,
Where's Hokkyo in that one? I don't understand. Like, why do you pick a 113 and have it sitting in 1390 and have it sitting in A6?
I don't understand either, to be honest. Nandesu fails that again. That's not good there from Nandesu. Really not ideal. But yeah, that AMX 1390 is weird.
Like, the reason you have the 1390 is the camo. You sit him in a bush, passive scout somewhere.
Yep.
But there's no point passive scouting A6 because you might as well just have your bat chat there.
Yeah.
Spotting from that position.
Oh, that was a nice little shot from Akio.
Like,
not going to be going.
You'd want to see him in sort of C6 or...
Yep.
There's like a forward bush near the cap. It might be a little bit too close, but I think there's a bush sort of in B5 as well. There's a few bushes littered around in that little field, which the 1390s can sit in.
You can even move up towards that tree, maybe. The knockdown tree.
Yeah.
Potentially. I don't know. But yeah, look,
Well,
right now.
whatever he's doing right now is not really relevant because he's not
it's
spotting.
It's not doing anything.
He's not spotting the RU251.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing is that whenever they want to, he can move forward and spot the RU251.
Yeah, but in that case, just take an RU251 because it's faster.
Yeah. Well, win some, you lose some, but right now it's looking like Caren Tiger actually really getting this one pretty close.
Yeah, like 20 seconds. Oh, there's a reset. Just in time. It was a blind reset as well.
Ooh.
So you'd have to feel a little bit disappointed there for Caren Tiger.
Yeah.
That's one of those shots that either hits or it doesn't. It's not like it was aimed anywhere in particular.
Yeah, a bit disappointing there. Zenlong going to be able to get back onto the cap and start that one back up again.
Sphinx takes a bit of damage though. Favourable trades so far for Horsemen, but they are taking a bit of damage of their own.
Yeah, right now the Horsemen not looking too bad. But yeah, they are taking that damage exactly. And Nico Best Waifu, you know, it looks like only a little bit of a chunk of his health bar is gone, but that's actually about 900 almost damage that he's taken. So quite a fair chunk. Motobe here going to be scouting out while he reloads, looking for any kind of sneaky Horseman pushes. Down the bottom of the map there. Archon as well in that bat chat. Not doing too much. Oh, Hockey has been spotted out though. Not ideal. Not ideal for Yupa though either.
It's not too big of a deal. He's still got a fairly decent amount of HP to play with, but he doesn't want to trade with the mouse.
No.
He will lose a trade battle with the mouse.
Unless Gorilla misses.
Unless Gorilla misses. But like the mouse will reload pretty quickly, has better alpha than a 113, has more HP than a 113, has more armor than a 113.
So that was a bit of a
yeah, he's just essentially taking 1,000 damage for free.
Yeah, bit of a mistake there from Yupa. Hokkyo actually goes down in the AMX 1390. Maybe he was trying to push up to actually get the scout onto Zenlon. Either way, Zenlon is not on the cap.
Like, why do they have Hokkyo in the 1390?
Actually,
like, where's Spencer?
Yeah.
Is Spencer maybe, I don't know, his internet's died or something? They've had to have a sub in or something like that?
Yeah, because it doesn't really make too much sense having Hokkyo in that 1390, unless he only plays the 1390 in the FV215B.
Well, don't know. Wardame gets a free shot into Archon. Goes for a bit of a repeat.
Oh,
and then recognises there's another bat chat there as well, so a bit of information given over to him. He's played that well.
Yep. Very cheeky there from Winnermate. And look, I'm not sure. Oh, no, this is better. This is actually better. I was about to say, I'm not sure if I like the idea of Caren Tiger just keeping on with this, you know, one
All
tank
3
cap.
on the cap now as well.
3 is what I like.
And Polly's covering off any blind fires in Zenland's direction. So if anything does go there, it's going to reset the bat chat. Oh, no way.
That blind fire. Oh, my goodness.
That's a good one. But still 24 seconds. It's not like it's a huge reset.
Polly's actually still in that. Polly was still in that spot that that Zenlong just got blind fired on. So I thought the Gorilla might have even shot Polly again, but it's not going to be the case. 12 seconds, 10 seconds left. That blind fire, it hasn't hit.
Do they have time to get the reset here? Sphinx has to go forward, but he's spotted out. Polly and Hellcry are going to shoot him, and they're all going to get off the cap here. But now this is where Caren Tiger has to make something of it because they've forced the push of Horsemen. They have to make the fight work now, otherwise they don't have time. 3 minutes left. Zenlong looking very, very low. Hellcry running away, and Yupa, well, he should be an easy kill for Gorilla. I think that was a pretty good roll, admittedly, but still, I don't know if that's worked out for Caren Tiger. Nadeko does take down OBOV, though, but he himself gets traded out. Gorilla doing some work in this mouse.
Yeah, AKOV's still looking quite healthy up there, though, and getting quite a bit of damage out. Hellcry just taking down Sphinx. So the Horsemen, they only have four tanks left.
Polly can go big here, though. He can take down Archon. AKOV does actually get the kill, but this is dangerous now for Caren Tiger and for Horsemen. It could really still go either way. Polly, how many shots
he's missed it. Nandesu missed that shot onto Polly.
Nandesu's on reload too. And so AKOV, in his 113, is going to be able to do work here. And the bat chat, it cannot hide behind that corpse forever. Eventually, some of these shots are going to go in from AKOV. Mordame's almost off the reload as well. He's not getting favorable rolls in that RNG. And that's actually going to allow Nandesu to get back over in time. Time for AKOV to focus on the mouse, though. They don't have much time. They need to take down these tanks.
Yeah,
that was not a good shot. That was never going to pen.
Not ideal. It really would have been nice if he did one more shot on towards Nandesu there.
Mordame can kill Nico. Just needs one more. Right into the lower front plate, mate.
Yep, there we go. Nice, nice, nice.
Nandesu is a one-shot for anyone. Hellcry is going to get that. So they've got a minute 40 to deal with Gorilla. It's easy. It's over.
There we go. There we go. So, convincing little win there from Caren Tiger. I like that little bit of extra pressure they put with those extra tanks on the cap. I think that worked out quite well. At the end of the day, they will be taking down Gorilla and will be winning out that one without Oplisk, but still 7-2.
Very well played, Caren Tiger. That means they will face Team Efficiency. Horsemen will face EL Gaming in the finals. So we know our bracket now for the finals. It's getting just that little bit closer. Caren Tiger will be happy with that. I think it's a favourable matchup. Not necessarily favourable, because favourable would say Caren Tiger to win, but I think over EL Gaming, you'd rather face Team Efficiency, particularly if you're Caren Tiger, because they always seem to have good games against Team Efficiency. So, be a very good match to watch that one. Really looking forward to it. I think this is the ideal situation, really. Like, I would have liked, if I had my ideal, it was going to be Caren Tiger versus Team Efficiency.
Yeah.
And it was going to be Horseman versus EL.
Yeah, so pretty much. I think so as well.
I think that's the best.
Absolutely, very well played there to Caren Tiger. And look, they didn't obviously get to play the match against Meltdown with a forfeit, but I think looking at their form tonight, I reckon they would have won it anyway. So.
Well, yeah, maybe. Meltdown's been looking very, very good as well. Their form was looking good. So, admittedly, they did go down 0-3 to Horsemen in their last match, and then they had to forfeit because they had computer issues. But hard to say that they would have necessarily won over Meltdown, because that would have been a good matchup. That would have been a really good matchup tonight. Very disappointed that we didn't get to see it.
Oh well, win some, you lose some, and that was definitely a win there for Caren Tiger on that Steps Hub. And yeah, not an easy one to win the attack on Steps, particularly nowadays that we see so many Mouses on it, etc. I think that was a really good bit of play from them. Really good shot calling throughout tonight from whoever was shot calling there for Caren Tiger. You know, they've shown that they can play with the Arty, they can play without the Arty really well on all of those different types of maps. Good stuff from them.
Did seem to be working quite well for Caren Tiger, and that's what you want to see, right? You don't want to see the Caren Tiger that, you know, not necessarily like the good. You don't want to see the bad Caren Tiger rocking up. And in a match like this, it's where you need to see good Caren Tiger. And I think we will see that headed into the finals as well, because to me, for Caren Tiger, when they care about a match, like when they really want to win it, that's when they go hard out. But when they don't really care too much about a match,
Yep.
they don't go so crazy. But Accio V, look at that. 5,700 damage in a
Crazy.
113. He was sitting above the rail tracks. Key player in that one.
100%. Accio V, look, he's been playing quite well tonight. That is an extension of that. And Gorilla there with that mouse, 3.3k damage, not too bad either. OBOV down the bottom there as well for the Horsemen with only 1,500 damage in a Batcher, not too good. But yeah, Mudame again up the top of the scoreboard. And I'm going to be really interested in the post-match stats as well to see, you know, because I reckon Mudame is probably right up there. And you know, normally we do see Yupa right up the top for Caren Tiger. I don't think he's really been up the top tonight.
No, not tonight. I don't think he's had an amazing one, but he's played decently.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you don't win 7-2 against the Horsemen by not playing decent.
I think Hellcry might be up there for Caren Tiger.
Yeah, yeah. Sphinx again.
Yeah, Sphinx and Archon have not had great matches here. Maybe
Not-
against B Gaming, but not against Caren Tiger.
Yeah.
Which,
No,
look,
well,
admittedly...
I don't even think Sphinx had a good matchup against B Gaming, though. Like, I don't think he did.
Oh well, it doesn't matter hugely for Horsemen. They are still going through to finals. They're going to be happy with the work that they've managed to get done tonight. Facing EL Gaming, though, it's a big, a real big task for them. You know, like last season, this was the position that Team Efficiency was in, where they were going, okay, we've qualified for finals, but we might as well just be going there to play one series because it's EL Gaming. We have to face them in the semis. Maybe not the case this season for Team Efficiency because I think they're a lot stronger. But for Horsemen, I don't see them beating EL.
Yeah, well, okay, let's take a look at the post-match stats there. See who was up the top. It was actually Hockey for the Horsemen, interestingly enough, in that FE 215B. But there we go, Mudame up the top for Caren Tiger, followed there by Yupa. Good to see 3 Horsemen members near the top of the scoreboard there. So obviously Hockey, Gorilla and OBOV, they did work.
Yeah, a lot of work. And not quite enough done by the rest of the Horsemen. Like Hokyao, you probably expect to see him up towards the top there. Gorilla and OBOV, not really. I'd be hoping to see Sphinx, Archon, Nandesu. They all tend to be the ones that when Horseman is winning, that's where the damage is coming from. And so, and if they're all down towards the bottom of the scoreboard, did Nandesu even play tonight?
I
think he might have.
Yeah, I think he might have. Like,
yeah, he
not
did.
That often. Yeah.
See, that's not what you want to see.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Zenlon didn't do much, but he never really does. Like, he's never the carry. Poly, 1,400, not much. I actually thought Hellcry did more. But, oh well. Caren Tiger, the win is the win.
Win is the win is the win. Good stuff there from Caren Tiger. And look, I tell you what, we've seen some good tanking tonight, Jordan.
Yep.
We have seen some good tanking. We've seen some brilliant plays. I think we'll just make a highlight reel of Obelisk plays.
Yeah, probably.
See you, player. Yeah.
He's done a good job tonight. Hopefully he's going to do a good job at the finals as well. But something that we'll have to see in a couple of weeks.
Yep, absolutely. But in a couple of weeks, well, I'm excited for those finals in a couple of weeks as well. But let's take a look at the bracket for today. Of course, Horsemen did beat B Gaming 7-2. That was a good one. And Caren Tiger losing out to the Horsemen 7-2.
Yeah. Caren Tiger will be happy, though, that they managed to make their way through. Team Efficiency will be very happy as well, because Meltdown is one of the contenders with Team Efficiency for the position at the Grand Finals, because of the fact that the weighting comes from Season 1 and Season 2,
right,
as to which team goes through to the final. And Meltdown was like... Meltdown and B Gaming were the ones that would have had a good shot at it if they had qualified for the final. But they haven't qualified for the final. And now that almost assures Team Efficiency a place at the Grand Finals should they have a decent performance here. Unless, like, for example, Caren Tiger wins and Team Efficiency gets knocked out in, like...
Right.
So it's very likely that Team Efficiency would go through to the Grand Finals.
How exciting is that for Team Efficiency?
It's very...
Like, how exciting is that? You know, they're the Team Efficiency that, you know, when we interviewed them in last year's finals, you know, they don't often go to finals. You know, I'm not sure if they've been to finals.
I'm not sure. I think that might have been their first time.
Exactly. So when we interviewed them last year, they're like, oh yeah, well, we're not really, like...
We don't expect much.
We
had a goal to make top 6 this season, and then
Yeah,
And then we
didn't he
made
say,
top 4.
Yeah, didn't Skell say like, oh, we're not really like proud to be here. We're more surprised, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
something
something
like
like
that.
that. Like it was very funny.
It's a big difference though from last season to this season.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll find out how they go at the finals. Let's have a look and see who is going to be up against who at the finals. EL Gaming Horsemen and then Caren Target Team Efficiency. And then the winner of those will face each other for the ultimate spot. I'm predicting EL Gaming and Team Efficiency to come through, but I think Caren Tiger Team Efficiency is definitely going to be a very close matchup, and it's a matchup that is sort of steeped in history as well, because Team Efficiency was the team that knocked Caren Tiger out of the finals last season. They beat Caren Tiger 7-6 in the playoffs, and made Caren Tiger stay in.
Yeah,
It was big.
that was good. That
So
was good.
that's another nice storyline.
Absolutely, that's another great storyline. And you know, EL Horsemen, we say that EL Gaming, they were the ones that you know, are obviously first seed in the finals and the ones to beat, and will be very hard for any team to beat. But again, if we actually think back earlier to the very start of this season, their first match together, Horsemen actually really took it to EL Gaming. So who knows? Perhaps if they're on fire again, we could see that. All I know, Jordan, is that it is going to be an amazing 2 days of World of Tanks.
It is going to be very, very cool. The finals starting in a couple of weeks. Not next week. We do have a break. April 8th is our first final day. We'll be starting at the normal time, which is, of course, 5 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, have a very, very good night and happy tanking.
He's going to try his luck now. No shots left available for Archon. He is just trying to block the flank. He's left on the clock. Who's going to be able to do it? It looks like Happiness has an avenue, and he's going to get the shot into OBV and finds a kill onto Spencer. Great stuff coming out of B Gaming.
Yeah, look at that.
And I think it's Nundes through the lot, just 2 out completely. Left to dry, no way of escaping right now, and Gorilla doesn't look like he's going to get the potential to trade back around, and this could be bad coming out from Horsemen. They lost two tanks, but the damage is still being... A lot of damage into Colin as one more shot left, gets it, and Taki trying to go for the ram tactics, not going to work. That's 2 tanks now off the field for B Gaming. Again, it's a 4 versus 3, and they've caught out Sphinx.
Yeah, no.
The Mouses of B Gaming are going to be migrating.
Oh, that's up though from his teammates, and he's not really getting it. Going up against a Batchat. I don't think the Batchat has enough damage. No, he doesn't. He can't clip out Akio V, and Maro.
Wow.
No, maybe not going to be able to clip him out, but Gorilla. Oh! He hit it. I thought it went past him, but he does manage to get the reset. Is it going to be too little too late?
7. Oh, he spotted him out.
Don't stop, Hellcry. Okay,
Oh,
that's a good
nice.
reset. He needs to take 2 shots into Sphinx and then run.
Oh, one more.
He can run. No,
Oh!
he can't. Did he miss? He is the key player. If Hopeless can hit one more shot,
He can.
This is it. Yupa should clean this up pretty easily. Mordame's still pretty healthy as well. It's close.
Oh! Not a very big run up from Nundesu either, so he definitely is going to need a tap.
Not about the run up. Like, you wouldn't be able to solo this with the... Oh, that's not a very good...
Yeah.